entertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy Hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's Kasai Teppen.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone. Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at HarmanSolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmanSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmanSolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Really? All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Right now, the Arizona Diamondbacks are up 12 runs on the Rangers 4. Bottom of the 7th with no outs, but looking pretty good so far, especially after winning last night's game. Goose-egging the Texas Rangers over at Chase Field, 6-0. So Zach Gallen did his job. And I guess Merrill Kelly, I don't know how long he's hung in and done his job.
Well, there's bad news there. Do you want to talk about it now?
Well, we might as well.
All right. Happened? In the 5th inning, Merrill Kelly was throwing, and in the middle of an at-bat, and there was a runner on first base. Mm-hmm. Merrill Kelly suddenly stepped off the rubber, which is the pitcher's mound, and moist one easy.
I know what that means.
Well, I was talking to moist one specifically.
He knows what that means.
I think he does.
He says dirty things, and if you're going to find a way to not make that dirty, do it.
Is the mound ribbed for her pleasure?
No. Okay. See, now here we go.
Does it glow in the dark? I don't know.
No.
So what happened?
He stepped off, and he called the training staff out. They came out, and he was pulled from the game. Looks like it might be a hamstring issue. Nobody's saying for sure. He left the game just suddenly. He just Torrey was talking to him, and all of a sudden he said, I got to get out of here, which kind of caught Torrey off guard. So he brought in Slade, what's his name? DeConcini, Secasoni. What was that guy? Anyway, brought him in. The Rangers went on a bit of a run there. And cut the score in half. But since then, the Diamondbacks have gone ahead and hit some home runs and some timely hitting, moving runners around. And it's like you said, 12-4 now, I believe.
Yep, 12-4.
So that's what's happening. Merrill Kelly, not sure if he's going on the IR. Don't know. I don't know what the story is there, but that was sad to see him. He was having a good game going. I mean, he was doing very well. So it was good to see him back. And then, wham, the injury bug.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out more later on about that. But we just scored another run, 13-4. Diamondbacks. Looks like Suarez homered to left field. So
where was this last October when we needed to win the World Series?
Well, it's this October. And it's September. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. All I know is 2 games in a row sure does help out as we hang in there behind the San Diego Padres.
Yeah,
just a half game. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to be tomorrow or the next day, but we just keep winning. Good things will happen. So
that's all you got to do is take care of your business. Just go out there and win and do as much as you can and let everything else kind of handle itself. So
here's hoping. 888-368-1580. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Wow, we haven't heard from Big George in the beginning of a show for a while. He says, Diamondbacks about to sweep the Rangers. Wait, there's only been 2 games, man.
Well, it's a sweep though if we win both of them.
Oh, they're only playing them twice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess it counts. If a gentleman's sweep is one thing, a 2-game sweep should be called something else. There should be a term for a 2-game, because 2 games isn't that big a deal.
Sweep. It's a 2-game sweep.
It's not a sweep. I don't know. I just like it's like
2 games in a row.
It is.
They're the only 2 games in the series, and you beat them both. That is a sweep.
It's a sweep.
Midget sweep.
No, can't say that.
I sure did. I just
No.
did. Itty bitty sweep.
No. Mm-mm.
Abbreviated sweep.
How about
It's
just to soothe your OCD, Jeffrey? How about this?
Mhm.
A mini sweep.
Mini sweep? Yes, that's good. There, it'll work. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Teacher lady's back, much to everyone's surprise. Says, hi there, this is that English teacher. I am a budding Diamondbacks fan, and I must say I would love to see the Diamondbacks and my Royals in the World Series. Randy, are the Royals even possible?
Look, I mean, anything can happen. If the Royals can get into the postseason somehow, win a wild card spot, you never know. I mean, they've been playing well, but I don't think that's going to happen this season. They just there's just too much going on. I don't think the Royals are going to make it this season. But boy, Bobby Witt Jr., which by the way was my pick for MVP. Wow, has he had a season? Wow, that guy is something else. Wow.
Average Joe says Arizona Diamondbacks have launched the most homers by a team since the All-Star game, 84 home runs. They also have the highest batting average. Not surprised.
We've been one of the best offensive teams in baseball since the All-Star break. Yeah, we have. And by the way, the Dodgers lost again last night to the Cubbies. Have a Budweiser on me.
Oh no. Lost Toby just sent me something saying he's still hurting from this, and it's a graphic. I don't understand what I'm even looking at. I don't even know what I'm even looking at right now. It's his fantasy football, and he's trying to show me something. He only lost by a few points. So if you're hurting, I would imagine you're the kitty cat. That's not enough for me to go on, Lost Toby. But oh, by the way, I see you have Devon a chain, whatever his name is. He ain't gonna play. He's not looking to play. It's not looking good for him to play this week. So be aware of that, Lost Toby. But I see what happened. But I mean, nobody cares about your fantasy football. I'm sorry.
When do we do the Jeffrey Dr. Jeffrey injury report? When does that happen again? I
don't know. We just been sort of doing it as we go.
Or is that Thursdays? When do we do that?
I just let you know somebody's hurt when they find out they're hurt.
Oh, we used to do it so cool. We had some cool music, and you had you put your jacket on and your little hat, your little light hat on. You would do that but you haven't done that in a long time. I kind of miss that.
Yeah, well, see, here's what happened. Yeah. When we were in studio, I would just step over, grab a jacket, put it on, and there I was. But when your COVID hit, putting on a medical jacket didn't seem like I didn't want anyone,
we're into it.
Because before I had no patients die on me. And then suddenly I just didn't want to mess up that good record. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I don't do old-timey sports history anymore.
I kind of miss that too. You were so good. Oh, that's the bee's knees.
I mean, I just, after a while, you just get tired of some stuff. You got to come up with some new stuff. And by the way, it just kind of it strikes me as kind of interesting trying to figure out the listening habits of people who enjoy the Daily Blender. And because I see where the numbers go and stuff, and I'm kind of curious. Do you have a habit for listening to the show? Meaning, do you get in the car, you just listen while you're in it, you get out, and then you go on about your life?
I listen every day from.
I'm not asking you, Randy. I'm not asking you.
Sorry.
So, because I remember back when I was a kid, there were certain shows you'd watch, and a part of it would be great. And then after a certain part, you'd be like, I'm going to go do something else. And like with Johnny Carson, you'd watch the monologue and the first bit or whatever. Then once he starts talking to guests, you're a kid. You're like, this is boring. I'm out. So is there like a certain like the better part of the show is at this time, and then later on it's like, I can skip that part, or is it just always like start to finish? You just like to listen. I'm just curious about that. What your habits are.
I mean, I prefer to listen.
Randy, once again, you're on the show, so that's you have no choice.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it is.
888-368-1580. Seabass, the trucker, says, breaker, blender crew. Do you read me? Seabass here.
Hey, all right.
I lost my phone a few weeks ago, and I just got a new phone listening to the show as I'm driving through Phoenix in my big rig. Over. I don't believe you. I think you're another one of those people who's using fake phone numbers.
No, come on. Seabass he wouldn't lie about something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, if you are a fake number, you would just inherently be lying about that.
Well, because I've had another fake number person say, I got a new phone and this is my new number. So here's what you need to do, Seabass. The next safe moment you have, take a picture of, something that will prove that it's actually you driving a truck today. September 11th. Ooh, today's September 11th.
Yes, today is September 11th.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
All right.
888-368-1580. Prison Wallet says she likes baseball. Her text nickname could be Ball Girl. I mean,
she's teacher lady.
She's teacher lady. We already settled this.
We've already done this. If she wants to change it to something else, she's got a certain window of time that's kind of nebulous, but she'll figure it out. She seems to like teacher lady.
Yeah, and by the way, teacher lady, just so you know, you don't have to tell me every day who you are because now you're in the system and your teacher lady name shows up automatically. She says the Royals are firmly in wild card spot right now, Mr. White. They're 80-66.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We don't keep track of Canadian teams. Big George says,
Kansas City, Canada.
Mini sweep. Is that something that'll be featured at the midget wrestling event? Oh, I'd say so. Yeah.
No.
Let's see here. Donnie says 5th on the waiver wire and nobody wanted Isaiah Likely in League 5. Well, man, that was the first thing I tried to get and did not. Who got Likely? Did you get Likely?
I did not get Likely.
I'm playing Randy this week.
I tried because I got Mark Andrews. That'd be nice.
My stuff didn't go well at all.
I didn't get Likely. I guarantee you I didn't get Likely.
Average Joe says, before I work from home, I'd listen on my drive home after 5 p.m. Now, since I work from home, I typically listen from 3 p.m. to 4:30. Well, what happens at 4:30?
Yeah. And what do you do? What do you do later? Why can't you stay until 6?
Yeah. What's going on?
You're working from home.
Just curious.
Your grilling people is going to make them less likely to answer your question.
I can't help but be curious.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Woos is on the text line. Remember her?
Hey,
it's been a little bit.
Hi, guys. Haven't texted in a while. Still been listening, though. So going to the Diamondbacks game Saturday, and I want to visit veteran David Campbell, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago. So if he's listening, woos. Wait, he wasn't on my show. What are you talking about? Did we have David Campbell on the show and I didn't know about it? Or does she think she's texting in a different show right now? I feel like she's texting in a different show right now. That's awkward as hell, right there.
Oh yeah, I think she thinks she's texting into that station down the dial that covers the Diamondbacks.
Says Woos and my husband Dan want to buy you a drink. Last I heard, he's in section 145 in a wheelchair. Any way to confirm? Yes. Go to section 145. If you see someone in a wheelchair, you say, "Hey, are you David Campbell?" Moving on. Silver Pop says, I listen to the show while I'm working and even on my days off, usually from start to finish. However, that period that makes me zone out and really not listen is when you start talking about fantasy teams and strategy. I know it's very popular amongst the masses. It's just not for me. I still tune in, though, waiting for the subject to get changed. I got you, man. I get you. There's certain things, if they started getting talked about, I'd be like, just zone right out. It happens. Bat Flipper says, I listen to the first 2 hours daily. First two.
And then what happens?
Oh, you're missing a lot in that last hour.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
another face in the crowd says, teacher lady sounds a whole lot better than school marm. Ooh, that would have been a good one.
School marm?
Yeah, school marm would have been good.
Hmm.
Woo said, haha, thanks, guys. Well, you didn't hear him on this show. But where did you hear him? Seabass says, here I am texting the show while driving down the interstate. My coworker just took this picture. Over. There's no picture. I hope they didn't crash. Average Joe says, I just tune out while Ralph is on. No, sorry, that's Lost Toby. Average Joe says, I usually stop working at 4, then I go play Fortnite, as long as my kids aren't hogging the Xbox. You must be a young dad.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it's a video game. Lost Toby says, I tune out when Ralph is on. Okay, I got that. Bat Flipper says, hey, life happens, okay? Game start. 5 o'clock. All right. Maybe we should end the show at 5. Just get off early. Of course, Radio Ron thinks that the show is probably the most listened to in the 5 o'clock hour.
So I guess we're not doing that. Unless football excuses us, like usual.
Right. Megatron says, okay, here's my schedule. Monday, I listen from 5 to 6. Tuesday, 3 to 4, which will switch to the app if conversation is good. Wednesday, 3 to 4, we'll switch to the app if conversation is good. Thursday, pretty sure you don't work anymore. So Friday, 3 to 3:20, skip Ralph and on this day right there. Only 20 minutes on Friday. Thursday, we're on from 3 to 4:30, but okay.
We work.
I'm learning. I'm learning about your guys' thought processes. I know George, he listens to the entire show sometimes twice. Once live and then again on the internet. So anyway.
Yes.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Can I tell you that there was some nightmare fuel that happened? Let me just preface what I'm about to say with the following statement. Outside is way overrated. I'm just not interested in going outside. I mean, it's hot outside, so there's one reason. But then there's other reasons to not ever go outside. We evolved into the current state of humanity that we are, where we have figured out how to put ourselves inside. And inside is safe as long as you keep outside, and outside doesn't come inside. Like that python that bit the guy in the nutsack, the other day, stuff like that. But as long as you keep the outside on the outside, inside is great. My wife says, oh my God, did you see this? And she tells me, and I don't believe her. And she shows me the video. I'm like, okay, now I believe you. This happened in Malaysia. This woman, she's jogging, minding her own business. And I am sure that there was nowhere on her list of things to worry about what happened to her. You're out jogging. What are you worried about? You're worried about
a python,
muggers, maybe a rattlesnake. Now, this is in Malaysia. So any number of things.
Well, if it's in Malaysia, you're worried about tigers.
Okay.
Hey, you're worried about those motorcycle bandits that drive up real fast. It's on the two guys on a motorcycle. And they steal your gear, your iPhone or your handbag or whatever.
So she's jogging. You're right. She's minding her own business, looking out for all the things that you have mentioned. And let me just say that gang of murderous otters was probably not even on the list. She got attacked.
Why would it be?
By a gang of otters. 8 vicious, angry otters. They jumped on her, and you can see them prancing. There's a video of them running through a parking lot, and they just took out her legs. They were chomping her legs, and she was just bloody, just everywhere, cuts and punctures in the fabric. I mean, you see otters, all you think is, oh, those are adorable.
Exactly.
They sit there on their back and they eat their little things. They're like, I'm an otter.
And they float down the river, and they they mate for life, and they do cute stuff. What? First off, do you know how hard I would lie to all of you
Yeah.
If I was attacked by a pack of otters.
Yeah, you'd be like, it was a tiger.
Yeah.
It was a tiger. I narrowly escaped with my
Like,
life.
dude, I was attacked by 14 snakes.
But
There's no way.
I think it'd be cool as hell to get attacked by otters. Are you kidding me?
How do you figure?
Are you kidding me? How odd is that?
They're not cute. They're murderous
They can
and
be
they're
funny as
aggressive
hell.
because these idiot people will give them little treats. Now they get aggressive and now they come up on her and she's jogging, so she's healthy. She ain't got nothing to eat. And then they're like, "Hey, what do you got?" She's like, "I got a granola bar." She's like, "Let's kick her ass." And that's what happens.
Have you ever seen an otter run? They don't run that fast.
No, they do. I have seen an otter run. They just absolutely surprisingly faster than you think they would. So I guess this is not even the first attack. There has been other people attacked by otters, probably because that's the first one. They're like, we don't believe you. Nobody believes you. And now it's like, okay, now we believe you. And there's another place you don't want to go outside. The Grand Canyon. They just found another dude dead in the Grand Canyon. 7 people have died at the Grand Canyon since the end of July.
You mean like in the bottom of the Grand Canyon?
Well, various places. One lady got killed by a flash flood. Another guy was base jumping and oops. And
should have checked his gear.
And this guy was I think he was on a trip, a river trip, and I think maybe something went wrong for him. So yeah. So don't go outside in Malaysia. Don't go to the Grand Canyon. It's dangerous out there. I'm just trying to say. He's like, "Hey, you want to go for a walk?" No, I'm good right here. Safe right here.
Stay away from otters.
Just another face in the crowd says otters are just waterborne dachshunds. No, that sounds about right. Bat Flipper says, I got attacked by 2 beavers once. Best night of my life.
Oh boy.
Let's see here.
That's got to be a penalty, doesn't it? I mean,
no, I'll allow it. 3072 says, oh boy, I've been attacked by a band of angry beavers out in the bush of Saskatchewan. Their teeth are vicious. Never run across deranged otters before, though. Might have to bring some bear spray on my next camping trip. Baker's Cocky Hen says, she clearly didn't speak their language. Should have yelled, get otter here. Yeah, go ahead on that one.
That's easy. That's easy.
Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, I thought Malaysia is where the guy got bit in the Ginobili's through his toilet. Maybe inside isn't so safe. Is it the same place? I don't remember. I think it was Taiwan. But either way, I already said, as long as you can keep outside, it's safer inside. That's what I said.
That's one of my biggest fears.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the toilet, doing my business, my
Right.
morning constitutional, and somehow a snake gets up in there and gets a hold of me.
Get all up in your grape nuts.
Get all up in my undercarriage there somehow.
Kringleberry says, wow, that lady got romped. Yes, she did. She was a bloody mess if you see the pictures. Walter Mellon says, Jeffrey, next Friday will be under 100 degrees. You'll be able to go outside again. Nope. Let's see. Choro sent me a thing here saying that Kyler Murray says it's not his job to feed Marvin Harrison Jr. targets. Kyler Murray, it is exactly your job. What are you talking about? And that was actually posted up by DraftKings. That's a legit story.
That just seems like there should be more context there.
Ralph is threatening. He says, I'll start being on 5 days a week now based on these comments. We're getting threatened. Average Joe says, Primus has been warning us about beavers since like 1995. Well, that's true. CK says, yeah, fellas, otters are territorial carnivores. Even big cats won't mess with a gang of otters. Fish Tank says, you guys up against the break? What business is it of yours? Why don't you just keep your eye on the road?
Maybe we're clearing a text line. What's it to you?
Yeah. Pull the Plug says, inside has Glock. Glock is portable. That can go outside too.
Yeah.
You think inside only has a Glock? Pull the Plug. You're adorable. Lost Toby says, Dodgers drop new City Connect jersey due to all their injuries. And instead of Dodgers in the front, it says Vapo Rub. That's not so funny in a day where our pitcher gets hurt. All right, we got to take a break. You're right, Fish Tank. It's not your business, but you're right. When we come back, let's get back to talking some sports stuff, because a lot of that sports stuff, that does happen inside. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
College football coming up on Thursday night. Arizona State on the road in San Marcos, where they'll take on the Texas State Bobcats. The Sun Devils off to a 2-0 start after their win against Mississippi State. The Sun Devils are favored by 1.5 points, minus 125 on the money line, while the Bobcats are plus 105. The over-under is at 59.5. Friday night, Arizona State heads to Manhattan for their Big 12 opener against number 14 Kansas State. They're a 7.5-point road underdog, plus 240 on the money line. Kansas State minus 290, over under 58.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS. Call Civic Tax Relief for free information now. Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
Just call 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189, or just go to harmansolar.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Is that game over yet? I know the Diamondbacks are up 14-4 over the Rangers. Top of the ninth, 2 outs left, so you can just about stick a fork in that one. Walter Mellon says, you can Google otters and see otters brawling over their own territory. It looks pretty awesome, them swimming up to each other in the water. I had no idea, because you never see angry otter pictures or videos. It's always just these sweet little things just doing whatever. So 888-368-1580. So as you know, Jerry West died over the summer at the age of 86. And of course, remember he was with the Lakers, played for the Lakers for about 80 years, and then he worked for the Lakers. But then after that, he was like, "Well, f these guys," and he went over to the Clippers and started working for them. I mean, he also did some work for the Warriors. What was it that pissed Jerry off, where he was just sort of like fingers in the air, don't care towards the Lakers later in life?
It was really just a way the Buss family treated him in particular, and Jeannie Buss kind of made it a point to exclude him from Laker related things. And so after a while, he was like, "All right, I get the idea. If you don't want me, I'm not going." And so then when they tried to reach out near the end, it was already too late. I think the damage was already done. And he'd had so much success with other teams. Like, those franchises obviously still appreciate the work that he did, the work he did with the Warriors, and the work that he did with the Grizzlies as well.
Oh, I
when
didn't
they
know
were a playoff team.
Oh, that's right. Remember Kobe was talking about the Grizzlies.
Yeah. So,
all right. So Jerry West didn't care for the Lakers at the end. I mean, his number got retired in 1983. He played for them for 14 years. He coached the Lakers for a short time, but at the end, he was like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
Well, now
it's a shame on their part that they treated him that way.
Now they want to honor him now, and probably just for financial gain. The number 44 stripe is going to be across the left shoulder of every player. Right there. So that's going to be on their jerseys. The 44 like that. This seems kind of empty, doesn't it? Seems like an empty gesture by the Lakers.
It is, especially since Jeannie Buss is the owner of the team, and she's the one that basically excommunicated him from the Lakers.
Yeah. So this is just what, money-making opportunity maybe for her?
Money-making / optics. I mean, the optics of making sure you honor your one of your great players, one of the legends of your team after he's died. I mean, it's a bad look if you don't.
But everybody knows. Everybody knows. So what's the point? I don't know. But I get it. I mean, every Laker fan knows better.
Yeah, but I think it would still be something that would make Laker fans angry if they did. I mean, Laker fans, if you're on the text line, let us know.
Yeah, I'm curious how you feel about how the Lakers turned their back on Jerry West and he went off and did other things. And it wasn't because he didn't want to be around or with or involved with the Lakers forever. Just they kind of just turned their back on him. Chief Skull says it's too late. It's too late by the Lakers. They keep blowing it. I love how they keep screwing things up. Oh, I always enjoy that too. And maybe, how do we know Jerry West wasn't the a-hole?
I mean, we don't, but by all accounts, Jerry West is the nicest man, and no one at any other organization had a problem with him, and no one in the Lakers organization seemed to have a problem with him outside of Jeannie Buss. She's the one that really went after him. She's the one that said he couldn't come back. You could pin it on Jerry West, but he said near the end, the one thing he regrets is his relationship with the Lakers is horrible, and he'd like to fix that. They didn't do that. I'm not putting that on Jerry.
No, I agree. I'm just saying we're not there.
We don't know. We're not part of it. But if you the way that he left the Warriors organization, they never said he couldn't come back. The way he left the Grizzlies organization, they never said he couldn't come back. Like, it's the one organization that he has had the biggest influence on as a player, as a coach, as a general manager, and that's the one that doesn't want him back. I have trouble believing that's because he's the jerk.
Well, number 44 will at least get some sort of a tribute on a Lakers jersey. I wonder if the other teams will do that too. Lost Toby says, doing my yearly harassment training, got to keep my harassment certification up to date. How many people do you have to harass to earn that certification? And is there specific kinds of harassment that you have to be really good at?
I don't know. Ask Deshaun Watson. He'd be aware.
Saw that somebody posted up. What was it they posted up? It cracked me up. Just what was it? It said something about is like this guy has got to sexually harass all of Houston. I don't know. Just
the entire city of Houston. Deshaun Watson.
So
hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah,
Nobody's
the NFL is boy, they can't wait. Now that he's not good at the football, the NFL can't wait to investigate. The NFL can't wait to stand on the side of women and get the Browns out of an expensive contract. Because before that, they were like, well, there's criminal complaints. Well, we can't do anything. We're going to look the other. We're going to give him a completely guaranteed contract starting next year. First year, he'd only get $1 million. I guess he doesn't get $1 million. But, that's so much dirty by the Browns to get Deshaun Watson. He was accused of raping everybody. And yet they did everything they could to get him on the team. And then now he's back and playing, and he sucks. And I enjoy that. But I also enjoy the Browns now having to eat all that money. But if they use this as their way of getting out of it, it's a win because Deshaun Watson doesn't get the money. But I kind of feel like it's a loss because
I'd like
the Browns save the money.
The Browns should get that cap hit every year of that deal, even when he's not there. The NFL would never do that, but I would like to see it. But yeah, the Browns are taking the heat for this, even though the teams that pursued Deshaun Watson include the Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons. A bunch of teams went after this guy immediately after he was cleared. That's not just a Brown specific problem, which is how the NFL doesn't really care.
Well, we already knew that.
Yeah.
Baker's cocky hen says Jeannie Buss never threw him under the bus the way she did Phil Jackson. Maybe she was upset he wouldn't sleep with her. What makes you think that that's how Jeannie Buss is? Is that how she is?
I genuinely don't know. But all I know is that they made Jerry West, who is the logo of the NBA, regret playing for the Lakers. The man said that he wished he would have played somewhere else where people appreciated how much he contributed and how much he gave and how much he cared. Because that's the only thing he ever wanted from that organization was some thanks. I only went to 7 titles in a row for you guys, and I only drafted one of the greatest players your team ever had, and I only hired your greatest coach. Just a little thanks would be nice.
Speaking of dirty,
I only got Phil Jackson to come in and coach.
I only drafted Kobe and hired Phil Jackson. No biggie.
CK says, speaking of dirty, Dylan Cohen let us know he celebrates his wins. Pretty similar to the way Shannon Sharp does on Instagram. What is he talking about?
Oh, no. Okay. See.
What?
Shannon Sharp had a sex video leak on Instagram.
Nobody wants to see that.
He's apologizing. He said he was hacked. For once, I believe him because his career is as far as the media stuff is going up. His podcast's doing really well. A bunch of stuff is doing really well. That's the only thing that you could do to jeopardize it. And I have trouble believing that he wanted the world to see that.
But what does that have to do with Dylan Cohen?
It's a joke that would take too long to explain, and it's not funny enough to warrant how long.
Does he have a sex tape?
No, he does not.
Well, thank God for that.
He just misspoke, and it's sticking around. That's all.
Did Dylan himself say he celebrates like Shannon Sharp?
No,
because I would cancel all of our internet subscriptions immediately.
I would move into the wilderness. You wouldn't need internet after.
Yeah, I'd be like that Robert Redford meme where he's sitting there wearing the leather stuff and he's like a bear, like a beaver trapper out there just kind of smiling going, yeah, I didn't see the video. I ain't going to watch it either. That's right. I'd just be out there in the wilderness.
Yep. So been avoiding the Shannon Sharp stuff all day because I don't want to.
I had no idea that even happened.
Not even accidentally.
Is that 2 N's or 1 N in Shannon?
It's in for no. Baker's cocky hen says Dylan's going to celebrate sex instead of success.
What?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he was trying to say success. He said the word sex. That was and then someone said, "Oh, so you were celebrating like Shannon Sharp."
Teacher lady says, "Wait a second. Is there a Dylan Cohen sex tape? Where can I find this? I'm asking for a friend. What is your friend Monkey Puncher?" Silver Pop says, "Has to be said, burn in hell, Lakers." Yeah, Jerry would be all for that "Burn in Hell Lakers" song.
I think so. Yeah.
So Moist One says, yeah, Jerry West traded for Kobe. Traded for Kobe.
Yeah, on draft day.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they drafted him. They traded the draft. Got it.
Mhm.
So, there's a lot of gimmicks when it comes to college football, a lot of pageantry, a lot of fun stuff, and every now and then it comes across all sports, but every now and then somebody has a little contest where it's like, if you can make a half court shot, we'll give you this much money. Yeah, we'll give you like $50,000 scholarship. And or if you can make this putt, you'll get this. And well, one car dealer was out there with Purdue, and they had this halftime contest where you had to kick a field goal, 40-yard field goal. And so this dude kicks a 40-yard field goal at halftime at Purdue's home opener, and everybody's like, "Yay!" It was part of a contest that was sponsored by a car company there, and he was going to get $250 and then a 2-year lease on a car from a dealer. So he was like, "Oh, okay." So you don't get a free car forever, but 2-year lease, that's not bad. And $250, pretty good. So he goes out there and he makes the field goal. Everybody's like, "Yay!" Everybody celebrates. Well, then later on, the car dealership informs this kid. They're like, "Hey, we looked at the tape, and your kick came 0.005 seconds after that 30-second time period expired. You will get nothing." His foot hit the ball a fraction of a second, not 100th, not 1,000th, 10, very little. And so they're like, "No." He says, "Our decision not to award him the grand prize, not personal, but simply out of principle and the rules based. And we are disappointed that Zach was led to believe he accomplished the challenge." So people lost their minds. And then they started to think, "Oh my God, this is," and then other dealers started to step up saying, "Hey, like, we're going to step in and be the good guy." And this PR, this bleep storm started to swirl. So they stepped back in and said, "Okay, just kidding. You can have it." It's just kidding.
How did you not see that coming?
Yeah.
Honestly, when you sat there and how do you not see that sounds unfair? As you were typing it, did that not sound unfair to you? We're talking hundredths of a second.
For the publicity, I would have stepped in and given him a $250 and a leased car for a rate, from like the local radio station. Like, "Hey, X105 has got your back, buddy. Here's a leased car from so-and-so auto dealership, and here's not $250, but $500.
I mean, if I were another car dealership, I would have moved on that so fast. They would never have gotten the chance to apologize. No, don't worry. We've got you covered, man. And that would have been instantaneous. There's no way.
It would have taken about 8 seconds. As that email was read, I'm already dialing the phone to say, "We got you covered." Boom. Game over.
So here's the thing that's great. So the kid had a choice of the 2-year lease or $5,000. He's like, "Well, now I'm taking the cash." Loaning somebody a car for 2 years is probably cheaper than $5,000 if you're a car dealer. So losing the cash was not a great way to go for them. And this kid's never going to drive one of your cars, you sons of bitches.
And probably a lot of people in town will remember you as the car dealership that tried to go back on giving away something.
Damage is done.
Cannot be stressed enough. It wasn't free. You were just giving him basically 2 years off of paying.
Yep.
He still had to pay.
Rorman Automotive Group, you blew it.
Oh my God.
So the contest, they're going to still do that in future home games, but they're not going to have a 30-second clock. So enough of that. All right, we got to take a break. Let's come back and talk some football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
to annual girls trip moments.
Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tommy, I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter. So help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Wonder how we would do if we ever got interviewed by the Hot Wings guy. You know that the Hot Wings guy interviews people? You know, they just sit there. Yeah, Hot Ones. They sit there, and as the interview goes, you eat one hot wing. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter on the Rory Scoville range or whatever that is. And then you got to try to, not cry or sweat or scream or whatever. And, I wonder how we would do. Are you good with hot stuff, Randy?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Keon, you are.
Oh, yeah. That's oh, man. I eat spicy food all the time.
See, here's the thing. I can eat spicy food and I can be perfectly fine. But the only thing that happens is my nose and my face will sweat. Which is fine. That's allowed. And it's a reaction that comes from simple table pepper sometimes. And because I don't taste anything on my tongue, I'll be eating something being like, oh my God, must be a lot of pepper in there. So it's not about my tongue. It's not about my mouth. It's just about my body reacts certain ways to pepper. And so I will go and I'll eat some Thai food and be pretty happy. And everybody's like, are you dying? Like, no, I'm just my face sweats when I eat this stuff. And so, I think I would do very well. It's surviving it, but I would look like I just, any moment you're going to have to call 911.
Well, if that ever happens where we're being interviewed, you guys go ahead and eat the hot stuff.
Well, it's all or nothing, man. If you're there, you got to eat it too.
Well, then I'll eat the first one, and then I'll drink the milk and pass out. How's that?
I mean, that's not great, to be honest.
What do you mean it's not great?
I'd eat mine and Randy's.
Yeah, but that's not the way. Not the way
You
it's supposed to
guys-
work.
You,
have
you
to eat
guys
the
don't
wing.
understand.
You have to
you get
try, Rand.
When you get to be my age, there
I'm
are
never going to
certain
get to be your
things,
age.
that you do not eat, and there are certain reasons you don't eat it, and there's certain reactions your body makes when you eat hot, spicy food. Okay,
I'm Guyanese, man. That's what we eat.
there you go. Keon is our champion.
That's what
And
we eat.
You and I will sit back and we will watch Keon devour the hottest of hot.
I'll be
It's not
good.
how the thing works. We all
He's
have to
our
eat 'em.
champion.
We all have to eat some. At least take a bite, And
Yeah, because he lets you just take a bite. You don't have
Yeah.
to eat the whole wing.
you don't have to clean the bone. You just a little bite, just try to hang in there.
Well, maybe.
Maybe what we'll do is the old bait and switch, right? We'll do a bait and switch where like you get just like a plate of like regular barbecue wings, like just
Nah,
like,
I
but
like
not
the medium.
hot.
I like the mediums.
You
That's
can't-
about.
Nah, I'm trying to help you here.
I know. I hear you. I
just
don't like
wonder
the
how we would do.
barbecue though.
Sounds like we would not do well.
Collectively, doesn't
What are
seem
you
like
guys talking about? You guys will be like studs.
Well, Keon and I can hang. We can do it. But I don't know. You got to at least try, Randy.
Well, I mean, you know me. I'll try, but
it's the only food challenge I'm willing to try is a spicy food challenge because I can't eat a lot anymore. I just whatever I had when I was 21, where I could just eat forever.
Oh, I
don't
miss
have
that.
I don't have
Yeah.
that anymore. Yeah, it's gone.
Donnie says, you don't eat spicy. How did you ever land your wife? Well, his wife is Italian. A little bit of spice and flavor in some Italian sauces, but normally
actually,
it's pretty easy.
I eat more spicy stuff than she does.
I don't think Italian food needs to be spicy. It
No,
can
I
be,
mean, but when we have other foods other than the top, by the way, she made some zuppa de Tuscany, I think is what zuppa de Tuscan soup or whatever. Oh, it was amazing.
My wife likes the Cholulu. I like the Tapatio. Whenever we have breakfast, she's got the Cholulu.
See, I've tried.
I
them
got
all.
the Tapatio.
I've tried all of those.
Not really into the Tabasco sauce. That just seems like ugh.
Have you had the Reaper sauce yet?
Why would I do that to myself?
The North Carolina Reaper sauce?
No, I'm not going to do that.
No. Where does one find it?
Unless I'm being interviewed by the Hot Ones guy. No.
So
You don't want that.
Keon, I will find a bottle. I'll buy it and I'll send it to you.
Do it.
And I want to know your thoughts on the Carolina Reaper.
I know the Carolina Reaper is a hot pepper. I've never actually eaten one of those. So
I've been told all my life, don't fear the Reaper. But if it's coming from Carolina,
I believe.
I think I'm going to pass.
That was a Blue Oyster Cult, and that was a song.
I guess if I'm eating blue oysters, I'll try some of the Carolina Reaper.
I don't think is there such a thing as a blue oyster? Kiss the Cook, where are you when we need you?
I'm sure there is. Teacher lady says, I like hot wings. I can eat you guys under the table without even flenching.
Well, like you mean like
not-
super hot, like suicide, teacher lady?
Just not possible.
Because I don't know. I mean, it's no disrespect, teacher lady, but my money's on Keon. He's the champion of the show.
I'm just gonna flat out say it. I don't think that's possible. I felt insulted the other day because I went to go get some food and I got these tacos from this truck, and the guy was like, "Oh, how spicy do you want it?" Because they're known for having spicy stuff. And I said, "Max it out. 10. Give me your hottest sauce." And then when he gave it to me, he was like, I gave you like a 7. I want you to have a good weekend. And I was like, no,
oh my God.
And I ate it and it wasn't hot enough.
What did he base that on? Were you just racially profiled, or was it just you look too like a too sweet and nice profile?
Yeah, I just think he thought I was a very kind person, and how could I possibly eat terrifying food? But that's what I wanted to eat. I wanted it to be spicy. And then he gave me a 7, and it wasn't even close to being hot enough.
Get your
and I was
money
very
back.
mad about that.
Did you go back and tell him?
Well, no, it was a food truck, and I'd already moved on. And
yeah, you need to get to a bathroom, at least within range of one. Yeah, after that.
It was tasty. It was just not hot enough.
By the way, everybody calm down, because teacher lady says that she's happily married woman, plus her husband listens to the show, and he's the one that turned her on to us, so to speak. Really? Is he a texter too? Who the hell is he? I'm curious. Harry Soap says, Randy, search for your inner otter and attack that spicy wing. Just by itself, if we could just take that text and put it on like a wall, years later, somebody's going to say, Rant, search your inner otter, attack the spicy wing. Will make no sense. That's a code.
This is my favorite thing about this show is that every day it feels like there is a new sentence that has never been uttered in the English language before.
Guaranteed.
I don't think that's one.
I think, Jeffrey, you've got your plans for when you pass to the great unknown. I would like that on my headstone or my plaque, whatever.
Just right there underneath Randy White, date to date. Search your inner otter and attack that spicy wing.
That's it, right there. Quotation marks, done. And I think that says it all about my life. That sums it up.
Yeah, I think that's great. Harry Soap, thank you for that. Walter Mellon says, there is a Blue Point oyster. I'll buy the hot chip if Keon is willing to eat it for the hot chip challenge. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That one chip you're supposed to eat, and if you don't die, then you live. I don't know.
Then you really lived. I'll try it.
I got a lot of text. I am so behind. Fish Tank says Randy does the first 3, Jeffrey does the next 3, then Keon can clean up the final 4.
Like a relay.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Like a relay. There you go.
All right.
There it is. Fish Tank, good going. I like
it's
that.
Not bad. I think we're all supposed to eat them all at the same time, but
because I don't get a warm up. I just go straight into
oh, that's
that upper level.
King of Kenton says, go Diamondbacks. I think they hit another homer. Yeah, I think they're still hitting homers, even though the game's over 14-4. It is final. Wilbur says, TMI, Jeffrey. Sweaty nose? Don't tell Moist One. There's nothing sexual about a sweaty nose. Is there?
It's a Moist One. I think anything.
Not that I've ever heard. But at some point, you just can't think about what the Moist One would think because he can turn anything dirty.
I mean, the Moist One would probably think, like eye boogers are like sexy.
Yeah, don't think you know him. Silver Pop says, my family revoked my Mexican card because I can't eat spicy food. I always catch grief from them. Yeah, there's a term I learned years ago for that. It's called being a plastic Mexican. That is the term.
That's real.
Yeah, it's a real term. I've heard other people, other Mexican people say to each other, and I'm just like, oh, that's cold.
Yeah. I mean, granted, if I suddenly couldn't eat spicy food, I'd never be allowed back home again to visit my family in Maryland and DC.
Well, now you have the term. It's plastic.
I guess it'd be a plastic Guyanese. Yeah.
Oh, I said it right. Quiet Cannon says that ghost hot chili pepper is the hottest pepper on record. All right, my sphincter and I will pass. Chief Skull says 3 mild wings at Hooters were the mildest I've ever eaten. All right. Lost Toby says, I used to eat spice like it was nothing, but after COVID, it just sort of kills me now. Last Optimist says blue oysters are mushrooms. Bay blue or oysters. Oh, that makes sense. Blue oyster cult, mushrooms. Teacher lady says, I don't believe my husband texts in, but he does try to win some contests. I've broken the ice, so maybe he'll text in.
Hey, there you go.
Yes, bring him to the dark side. What does he do? Walter Mellon says, I'll order the chip. We can work out eating of the hot chip. So I'm not touching it. Keon wants it. He can have it. But can we not do this at the beginning of the show? We're going to do that. Let's do it at the end of the show.
I'll be useless for the rest of the 3 hours.
Fat Flipper says, Keon, try Atlantis ATL or Atlantis wings, spicy. ATL dry rub wings.
I'll give him a shot.
All right, listen. That is the end of this hour. We have a couple more coming up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh cracked American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas. Svoboda throws, intercepted by Viaseyu. Cyrus Viaseyu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Viaseyu. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got exciting news. Beat the Book is now on daily from 2 to 3 p.m.
That's right. Just before the blender, we're going to explore the world of betting along with you on the text line.
Send us your betting comments and questions. Speaking of which, Dylan, what do you think if I throw down $20 on my Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl? They're 120 to 1.
I don't know about that one, Keon.
You got a better idea, Mr. Beat the Book?
Of course I do. Just tune into The Fanatic. You've always got better ideas.
So join us for Beat the Book, now at 2 p.m. daily on The Fanatic. Brought to you by Sport Trade, a new app coming soon to Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White, Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, we've been doing a version of the Manning cast way longer than they have. Only thing is, we're not famous, and we're not football players, but we're in a Zoom call. And basically what they're doing is a glorified Zoom call. And only they have like everybody's on the left and then the game is on the right and that sort of thing.
I feel like they're spending maybe a little more than we are on their Zoom call. Maybe
probably better than a $150 camera.
Probably.
But anyway, so, the Manning cast, I've enjoyed it. And I have a theory. I have a theory about what I'm about to tell you. Now, what I'm about to tell you is the numbers came out for NFL ratings, and it was a huge week one. And all the ratings get 21 million average people per game. 123 million people saw at least part of a game in week one. And they say this is just great. 12% increase over last year. And it's been the most watched week one on record. So football is back, and it is bigger, and it is better than ever. Not so fast, you Manningcast. Their ratings are an all-time low. Not even 1 million people watch them. 872,000.
Wow.
But here is my theory. So because it played out at my house. So all right, time to turn on the game. We can watch it on channel 15 or we can watch it on the ESPN2 because, the Manning cast is on. We watch that. And I don't want to listen to Joe Buck or Troy Aikman at all. So I went over and I put it on that channel. And we're sitting there and my wife and the boy, and he's like, can we watch the regular broadcast? Because I kind of want to hear the play-by-play stuff. I don't want to hear them talking to actors or Adam Sandler or whatever. He's like, I just kind of want to hear the football. I just want to see the game itself. And yeah, he's right, because a lot of times on the Manning cast, they veer off or they're kind of half paying attention to the game or whatnot.
And on Sandler for 15 minutes, man.
On a bad game, that is better. It's better than listening to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. But that was a good game. That was a game worth watching on the Monday Night Football, wasn't it? It had some implications. You needed to watch that game. And so I was just like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, we could do that. We can switch over and watch 49ers and Jets, because there was what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. How's Brock Purdy going to play? Yada, yada. It was like, no, this is a good game to watch and actually hear the play-by-play rather than hear, from Adam Sandler and whatever the hell else was happening on that show.
I mean, they talked about the longest yard for like half the time that he was there, and he was there for 15 minutes. 7.5 minutes of a movie that came out when I was in high school. When the game is on, the appeal of the Manning cast, and I think that they just kind of gotten away from it, is not that they are famous and therefore have access to famous people to sit there and talk to you. It's that they're two quarterbacks who know the game, who've won Super Bowls, who are Hall of Famers, who've played this game at a high level, and who know better than your average fan what's going on, and maybe even better than the broadcasters what's going on. And they're talking to Adam Sandler.
It's the same thing that ESPN does over and over and over again. And wait, you'll see it happen to the Pat McAfee show too. You take something that's got a great idea. You've got both the Manning brothers on there. They're doing some great insight. They're talking football, and then you try to commercialize it or Hollywoodize the thing and make it into a variety show during a football game. It's not going to work. And I'm surprised it's been as popular. I'm surprised it's been as popular as it has been this long.
It can work, but not during a good game. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, but
if it's a whatever game, and maybe you got some fantasy football players, yeah, you can watch the Manning cast, no big deal.
How often is that going to happen? It's Monday Night Football. Like they're trying.
It last season happened more often than you know.
Yeah, it happened decent enough, but they're still trying to get the best matchups. Most of those games aren't going to be the worst game happening that weekend. They're going to be bad Monday Night Football games, but they also flex into games too. Like, I just don't think that most of those games are going to be bad enough to warrant us sitting there hearing Adam Sandler or The Rock or whoever it is that they have on this week talk about whatever project they're working on. Nobody cares.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Keon. I think they've got to be more judicious about who they have on the air and for what reason
and for
I
how
don't understand
long.
why they need to have anybody. It just should be the two of them talking about football and talking about the game. And maybe if they don't have enough gas to do that, then we shouldn't be doing this at all.
Yeah,
right.
And the thing is, I think they do. Because when they first started and they were more focused on the football, that was really good. And the whole point of bringing in Bill Belichick into the broadcast is, oh, here's somebody who was on the defensive side who understands things. And he's not just anybody. He might be the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. So here he is to tell you about what the defense is doing and what the looks are there. And how do you account for, well, you've only got one really good safety, but you're given a cover 2 look. So how do you hide one guy or maybe cover for him? There are different. There's so many things we could be learning. And there's so many places that try to teach you the game because fans clearly want it. That could be a place that teaches you, and instead we're talking of whatever celebrity of the week, and I just don't think it's that important.
Well, some of them make sense, some of them don't.
They had The Rock on there, and he was hawking his tequila. I mean, what the hell does that have to do with the football game going on right now?
No. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I bet if they had real celebrities like Taylor Swift, they'd get bigger ratings.
Oh,
well,
boy.
I'm sure they'd love to get Taylor Swift on. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting her on there. Because Peyton Manning has that kind of pull. I mean, he really does. But let's just go back to the reality of the situation. The Manning cast works best if the game ain't that good. If the game is something really like I'm intense and I got to watch this game. If somebody was sitting on the couch next to me talking too much during a good game, I'd be like, you need to go. You need to leave because I'm trying to pay attention to the game. And I think that's what's happening with the Manning cast.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it just being Peyton and Eli and maybe Bill Belichick comes in every now and then. And I like the idea of it only being football players.
Yeah.
Bring in some football players who aren't playing that day, get their take on stuff, but keep a focus on the game that's on the air. You'll have better ratings, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you happen to bring in, it's a bye week for the Niners, and you bring in a Fred Warner to talk about the linebackers in the matchup you happen to be watching, like that's the stuff I want to hear if you have guests at all. I'm not interested in whoever's hawking their movie or product that they have. Nobody cares enough, and I think that they don't realize how little we actually care. It's football. That's what we're there for.
And you can still have fun. These guys, these athletes coming in, they all have a pretty good sense of humor. I mean, you can still have fun with it. It's not like it would be boring.
It won't be a total bore. They need to reel it in. Yeah, you just reel the thing in. There's no reason to have Martha Stewart on. You know what I mean? She doesn't know anything about anything. Silly Wabbit says, great corporate moves by the Fanatic. Just have Keon now do 4 shows a week from morning until night, and you'll fill up the schedule and save money. Yeah, Keon is on the station so much, you'd think, are you sure he's not Jamaican?
I think I should pay rent here. I mean, it's just...
you work that into at least a discount,
Yeah.
Hey, right or wrong, what do you say? 15% off? Yeah? All right, 10.
Basically, it's my second house.
Mr. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, quick question. When and why did you drop the name Mr. Wilbur from my name? I don't know.
Just easier to say, huh?
So you figured we were friendly enough. I didn't have to call you Mr. You're just Wilbur. Remember back in the day, we had a bet nearly 6 years ago that if the Cardinals selected Kyler Murray, number 1 overall, you'd refer to me as Mr. Wilbur from that day forward. Dear God.
Wow.
That sounds familiar.
I vaguely recall something along those lines.
Memory from half a decade ago. That's a level of pettiness I appreciate. I'm not going to lie to you.
Listen,
This is the pettiness that Keon's here for.
Yeah, I'm not going to promise you I'll say Mr. every time. And I feel like, we're familiar enough. If I just say Wilbur, it's okay. But all right, I'll make an effort.
There's not another Wilbur on the text line to be confused with.
Right.
Yeah, bet's a bet. If I was supposed to say Mr., I'll say Mr. All right. Teacher lady says, is Mr. Wilbur also a teacher? No, Mr. Wilbur is just some blind dude who likes Arizona enough that he wants to be named after the mascot down there, whose name is Wilbur.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was like a Mrs. Wilbur or Mr. Wilbur. There was 2 of them, and that's who he named himself after. I don't know enough about, because I don't smoke meth. I don't know the ins and outs of Arizona garbage. So that's what that's about. The Jet says, hey, Jeffrey, I don't mind when you call me Jet. Yeah, okay. I don't have a bet with you. I'll call you whatever I want. Just another face in the crowd says, the regular airing of any pro sports event is already a shill job for whoever pays the commercials. Manning Bros are nothing different. Well, that's very cynical.
Though the thing is, they already have commercials in the Manning cast, too. We don't need your guest to hawk whatever, because we barely need your guest. Your guest was Adam Sandler. To talk about the second Happy Gilmore. That's what he's hawking. That's what he's there for.
I'd have one thing to say to Adam Sandler. Please don't. That's all I'd have to say. Please don't do that.
It's too late. He's already doing it. I agree with you. This is happening.
Mr. Wilbur says, Keon, you haven't seen pettiness until I start dogging you about your Texas Longhorns.
Oh, okay.
They're undefeated right now.
They're second in the nation, Mr. Wilbur. You can dog me all you want to. We'd squash your team and not even notice.
You have to find, I'd say you have to look 20 spaces up above Arizona to see them, Mr. Wilbur. But
I don't know.
You'll have to feel the bumps up to 20 lines. 20 lines up.
I wasn't even going to go there.
You'll feel the bumps that say that the Longhorns are in second place. And if you let your hand slide down the Braille paper there, you'll find your team at 22.
Hey, you look, the Wildcats were fighting for their lives against NAU. Why don't you struggle and worry about trying to stay ranked? You worry about staying
in chance to talk about that.
We didn't. You were going up against the mighty Lumberjacks of NAU, and you were in a fist fight for your lives.
Yeah,
and you have
true.
the gall to talk to me? Oh my God, Mr. Wilbur.
Yeah,
I'm begging you, don't
go
go
have the
there.
gall to talk to any of us.
I'm just there is so much smoke here, and you don't want it. I promise.
By the way, Mr. Wilbur, I just realized after I shook my fist at you, I'd probably need to tell you I did. I just shook my fist at you. Damn. We got to be ADA compliant here.
Oh no!
Got to make sure he knows.
Mr. Wilbur, that's not me. I just want you to know that while I think that your team is hilarious, no, I didn't go there. I didn't go there. I just want you to know that.
Teacher lady says, "Oh dear, you guys are making fun of blind people on this
I
show?"
don't make fun of the blind. I let the record show that I've never made fun of. Mr.
You
Wilbur.
have. Oh, you
No,
liar.
I haven't.
You have.
I may or may not.
Swear I know.
I
you
may
have.
or may not have laughed at every single joke that anyone.
You jumped in on one once.
I
did.
never did.
I remember.
I never did. Well, what did I say? I don't.
Your Honor, he did.
I did not do that. That
I
never happened.
remember because you even giggled about it, like, "Oh, I shouldn't do that." Whatever.
No,
you did.
I did not.
Wilbur, you remember?
I did not. I may have said that I shouldn't say something that I may have said in the process of trying not to say it, but I never have made fun of the blind teacher lady. I just want to show that.
Mr. Wilbur, personally, I respect you and respect you in such a great way. I think you're an upstanding citizen. Other than the fact that you went to U of A, I've never ever made a joke about
just not true.
What it enables you to be superhuman, and in my opinion.
I feel like he didn't realize the first day that he went to U Arizona. But then it was just too late. He's like, "Oh crap!" I go, "Well, I'm already here."
Jeez, this is Tempe.
Nobody goes there on purpose. It's kind of like Denny's at night. You don't ever like set out to go to Disney. You just end up there. So I just figure Miss Wilbur was just like,
yeah, you know.
What do you mean this is an ASU? Close enough. Screaming Goat says, "Making fun of blind people. I can't see what the problem is with that."
Oh no.
Just another face in the crowd says, "I believe a certain Mr. Wilbur has made fun of blind people himself, Your Honor." It's true. He has.
He definitely has, including himself.
Fish Tank says, "I heard Mr. Wilbur's middle name is Squints." The Jet says, "Keon, you might make fun of blind people, but at least you're not Irish." What? Teacher lady says, "For shame, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Rose, Mr. White making fun of blind people."
Teacher lady,
Wait,
I've never done that.
Did you? Clearly you did not hear. I've never made fun of Mr. Wilbur, an upstanding man, and I would never ever make fun of him ever.
I've never made fun of the blind.
See, the thing is, I make fun of everybody equally, and it's just like, you know, I bet somebody who is blind or disabled, they want to be hacked on just as much as anybody else. There's nothing precious. People just want to be a part of something and belong. So if I give Mr. Wilbur a hard time, that's between me and Mr. Wilbur. Now, if Mr. Wilbur says, "Oh, you've hurt my feelings," I would feel horrible about it. But Mr. Wilbur, he doesn't just enjoy it, he encourages it. So I'm sure it sounds horrific, and I wonder how many people tuned in and then tuned right the hell out.
Wow. These people are awful. They just thought they were listening to an episode of Seinfeld. Just the worst people.
Not the worst people. They're worse than we are.
They're 100% worse than we are. It's the only example I had in mind.
Teacher lady says, "Hey, I purposely left Mr. White off that list since I have not heard him make fun of the blind."
I haven't made fun of you haven't heard me make fun of the
did.
blind either.
Once. There was one time.
What time was that?
I just vaguely remember it, but you did.
It never happened.
I remember.
Teacher lady,
Randy hasn't.
That's not true.
Randy has.
Literally every time that you are on vacation and Randy is sat in the driver's seat
I didn't
of
know that.
Oh, Randy has lit Mr. Wilbur up. Ralph too. I have never made fun of Mr. Wilbur. Randy,
I have never ever in my entire life.
Oh my God.
Deface the name of Mr. Wilbur ever.
I do it a lot.
Every day, actually.
Just another face in the crowd says, "Yes, dear teacher lady, Mr. O'Brien is an equal opportunity annoyer." That ain't wrong. Fish Tank says, "If you divulge any information about yourself on this show, it is 100% instantly fair game." It's true. That goes for us too, man. Nobody's safe here.
That's the reason
Yeah,
why.
people say this is a safe place. It's really not. It's just really not. Walter Mellon says, well, it's obvious teacher lady hasn't listened to the show for very long. There's no shame here. There is no shame here. Let's see. Wilbur says, Randy, you and I are Cardinal fans together. Therefore, I
See?
love you. As
See?
for the other two, no worries.
That's good to know. But I don't need the no worries because I don't make fun of you, Mr. Wilbur.
Harry Soap says, hate the on-the-field interview during Sunday night baseball. Players can't concentrate on their craft if they're being asked, hey, what's your favorite movie? Mall Cop 1 or is it 2? Yeah, you're right.
Again,
meanwhile,
ESPN.
ball is hurtling towards center field.
Just hold on a second.
I've seen them do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I got to get this.
Yeah, trying to answer the question. And the next thing you know, you just hear a guy breathing heavy into a mic as he's in a full sprint to try and get underneath the baseball that's been launched 220 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I don't care about is these coach interviews on the football games now. They're required to give an interview. Both coaches have to be on. I don't know, one at the beginning, one at the end of halftime. And there's nothing useful to it. They'll ask a very pointed question. The coach will say like 3 or 4 words and say, all right, thanks, and walk off. And there's just like, there's no point to that. Don't bother that guy. He's trying to coach a football team.
Yeah, and it's the most stressful thing he's going to do in any week. Because, these wins and losses in the NFL, they stack up so quickly. 3 losses to start a season, you're basically done for the year.
Teacher lady says, you guys are starting to sound like my students tattling on each other about who made fun of the blind kid. As such, I have to ridicule all of you 3 for making fun of the blind. You all get detention. Oh, yeah? We work for CRC Broadcasting. What better punishment is there than that?
You clearly, teacher lady, we have done something cosmically wrong because we're all here.
Yeah. Welcome to purgatory. Welcome to hell.
We're never leaving.
Fish Tank says, if I'm fortunate enough to outlive Mr. Wilbur, I'll be happy to play See You on the Other Side at his funeral. That's the thing. How will he know to go into the light?
Oh, no.
He's going to just show up kind of doing this. Everybody else is like, oh, I see grandma. I see my family. Wilbur's like, can someone come get me? Hello?
Oh, my God.
Let's take a break. When we come back, more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Wendy's breakfast burrito has an entire breakfast in every bite. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. And the third bite, you get the idea. The boss of breakfast burritos, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game in a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas. Swoboda throws, intercepted by Piaseu. Cyrus Piaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Piaseu. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Skinny Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And all right, we got to talk some football. And football, as you know, week one is come and gone. So football is back. Time to get in on the action. I endorse only one sports book or casino, and that is BetUS. BetUS went large for everybody this season. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That is right, 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value other sports books simply don't. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, casino bonuses. So listen, get started today at betus.com. Give them a call, maybe. 1-800-MY-BET-US. And it's BetUS, where the game begins. Let's get back to the text line so I can get back to some football here. 888-368-1580. Wilbur says, I've never met Teacher Lady, and I know she's married, but is it wrong for me to say that I'm hot for teacher?
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Specifically,
she's been sticking up for you and everything.
Yeah, she went out of the way to, try to put us in detention, but we already work at detention, so but she tried to help you, Mr. Wilbur. That's your repayment.
Yeah. See that now you understand, Teacher Lady. Mm-hmm. By the way, Teacher Lady says, my husband asked me last night if I wanted to go to Kasai for our anniversary next month. I said, yeah, but is it really that good? Kind of pricey, she says, but I do like the idea of dinnertainment. Listen, it is that good. It is a place you can go to and have a nice anniversary. I don't just do the commercials. I also go there whenever I get a chance. And it is that good. It's a good place to go. Like it says, go watch a game. You could just hang around at the bar. You can get a table or you can go do the whole Teppan thing where the guy is chucking shrimp at you and stuff like that. It's it's a great place to go. It's not, it's not overstated. Kasai is actually a really good place. And now they got the 2 locations, makes it even easier. Looking forward to more locations. 888-368-1580. Sir Drives a Lot says, geez, read the room, Wilbur. Oh, sorry.
Damn. That's a slow burn. The more you think about it, the funnier it gets.
Screaming Goat says, I just heard the Kasai ad again. This is where I text in Kasai, right?
No.
I've never said text in Kasai. I said check it on your mobile phone. Look it up. Google it.
How did this get started?
I'm not really sure.
I don't know, because at no point in that commercial do you say that.
Somebody texted in yesterday and said Kasai as well. So
he's go to KasaiTeppan.com, which is not the same thing as text Kasai.
3072. By the way, you're going to need a text line if you're going to keep this up. 3072 says, you say you only support one sports betting site. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Why? What?
He says, well, didn't you support someone else in the past last year and somebody before that?
Well, they, to the highest bidder.
Listen, I ain't going to lie to you. I'm a sellout. Okay. But right now, I support only one.
Do you every time you say that
at this moment?
Yes.
there aren't others at the same time.
Yeah, I am faithful to the one.
Yes.
At a time.
At this very moment.
Yes.
In time.
Listen, are you faithful to all your exes? No, because you're not dating them anymore. Now if you're with somebody else, that's who you're with.
Yeah, DraftKings can just kiss all of my ass right now.
And that's Bet 365 is her right now.
Yeah,
that's Bet US is my gal.
Bet US, sorry.
Yeah, you can have Bet 365. I don't care. Yeah. Swave Dave says, so does Belichick mumble and not answer the question and then say, "Did I mention I'm dating a 20-year-old?" No, actually, he's very gregarious when he just gets to talking.
It's the thing that people have actually said about him for years, which is that like he doesn't like the media, but now that he's working in it, he seems to like talking, actually.
T-Licious says, Mr. Wilbur and Aaron Rodgers can go off into a dark room somewhere and get lost. Well, only one of them will be lost. Northern Nogales Community College isn't worth mentioning ever. No, that's true. Just another face of the crowd says, that see you on the other side crack was so effing funny and so effing wrong all at the same time. Welcome to the Daily Blender.
Yes, we agree.
Fat Flipper says, goodbye, FanDuel. Wilbur says Jeffrey goes to that restaurant only because he keeps the unclaimed gift cards. That is not true. There's never unclaimed gift cards when we do those giveaways. Am I above it? No. I wish there were unclaimed gift cards. I'd use the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to Kasai and you'll see.
We've been completely honest about the things that we've used that we could have given away, but we didn't.
For some reason, Moist One says, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Don't understand that.
Me neither. No, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm lost there.
Wow.
Donnie says, hey, Jeffrey, they're opening in Queen Creek. Oh, is that public now? I didn't know if I was allowed to say. Yeah, Kasai is about to open up a location near my house, specifically for me. Others are welcome to use it as well.
How about that?
But yes, it's the Jeffrey O'Brien location of Kasai Japanese Steakhouse.
Absolutely.
Do we know how much closer they are to opening that thing up? Since now it's public knowledge that they're working on it. I need some facts on this. George says, so wait, are we supposed to text Kasai for an unused gift card? I'm confused. No, there are no unused gift cards. Do not text us Kasai.
Good job, George. Good job.
Swave Dave says, I've already had my 13th nervous breakdown, but I love Fourth Dimension.
Did you get ripped one day? Was there one day that you just you said a little too much? He doesn't strike me as the person that would.
I don't remember any issues with Swave Dave. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to talking some football stuff. Oh, by the way, remember how Ricky Pearsall got shot?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a miracle shot. It was just right through him. Well, the kid is, he's been charged with attempted murder and robbery and all that stuff. Well, his lawyer is already saying, hey, this is not attempted murder. He says it was a rather extended struggle between Mr. Pearsall and my client. It says, they were fighting back and forth on the sidewalk. And, Mr. Pearsall, since he's a big old NFL player, trying to make his client look like a victim now. He's like, yeah, as you can see, he gets the best of it. He does kind of. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been wrestled or not, but nice hip toss. And he throws my client to the ground and ends up on top of him. I think the video supports this. And it's an attempted robbery, not attempted murder. Hey, Mr. Lawyer guy, you left out the part where he had a gun and he shot Pearsall through the chest.
Yeah, you forgot to mention that.
Yeah, 3 shots actually were fired during the fight. But the defendant gets shot in the forearm. Pearsall gets going right through the chest. He's lucky to be alive. And he's like, and by the way, my client did not have a gun at school. That is a false report. Okay, but the other part where you tried to make your client look like a victim up next to the giant man he was trying to rob at gunpoint.
Yeah.
It's not going to go over well.
No. And look, he has to try. Obviously, he is a lawyer, and that's his job, is to try, figure out whatever angle he has to take to make his client look as little like an aggressor here as humanly possible. But when you show up with the gun to somebody and you ask for their Rolex or whatever the case may be, it's implied that if you don't hand it over, you're getting shot. That's attempted murder.
And guess what? In this case, he did.
He did. Yeah.
He got shot.
It was only possible for Ricky Pearsall to be shot while wrestling him because he had the gun pointed at him in the first place.
We got to be tough on stuff like this. Yeah, maybe the kid didn't set out to murder anybody, but the gun was loaded. Maybe the kid didn't set out to actually murder somebody, but he shot Ricky Pearsall. So whatever he set out to do, it ended up being attempted murder. And I want people to be tough on crime appropriately. The appropriateness, meaning this kid deserves to go away for a long time. This isn't a kid who got caught with one joint. This wasn't a kid who made a little mistake in traffic. This wasn't a kid who maybe stole some food from a store because his family was hungry. This is a kid who went up trying to steal a Rolex off of a NFL player and at gunpoint and nearly killed him and got killed himself. This is not the same as those other things. So this kid, I hope, it goes away for a long time. I can have sympathy for his situation, whatever it is, but sometimes the law's got to be the law,
Yeah, and look, if you're saying he's young, there's something to rehabilitate there. That's an argument I'll listen to. The argument where he didn't intend to kill, you point a gun at somebody, they have every right to assume that that's what your plan is.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Teacher lady says, as a woman, I will admit there's nothing hotter than a guy who gets shot and fights back. Just ask my husband, former Afghanistan Marine Corps veteran. Yeah, but now you've just put Ricky Pearsall at risk because now your former Afghanistan Marine Corps veteran husband just heard you call him hot. Ricky Pearsall needs to go into hiding now because of you. Think before you text.
It's like taking your husband has a set of skills. There's just we don't need that for Ricky. We don't need that for him.
Ricky Pearsall, set of skills. Ricky Pearsall, you will be missed.
I will find you.
You're going to see him with a fake mustache on the football field looking around for teacher lady's husband.
He's got the Groucho Marx glasses on.
And when I do, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, Swave Dave, I skipped that. I didn't see that. He says, Jeffrey, I was just trying to coin the phrase fourth dementia. Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
The fourth dementia.
The fourth dementia. Somebody beat him to it. Didn't somebody call in yesterday about...
I think it was him.
Was it? Oh, okay. The fourth dementia.
I don't know. Maybe I've got the fourth dementia. I can be wrong.
Could be.
Teacher lady says, Mr. O'Brien, you just described the plot to Les Mis, a father stealing a loaf of bread to feed his family and constantly on the run from the police. A tale as old as time. No, that's from Beauty and the Beast. I saw that cartoon. Swazman says, I don't know if you remember that story from a year ago when I was walking this dog, went into my client's apartment, and her new boyfriend pointed a loaded gun at me. Obviously, I don't work for her anymore. My point is, more than just getting shot is the stress of having a gun pointed at you. That's some real PTSD right there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
How could it not be?
Yeah, that would put me off a dog walking forever.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
Forgot to tell the boyfriend I was coming by with your pet. Is that really?
From now on, I'm going to meet somebody out at the curb. You bring the dog to me. Nondescript says forthcoming dementia. Now it doesn't make any sense. Berg says, don't we all have dementia?
I mean, maybe.
Do we?
I forget.
Fans of this show? It's starting to check out.
It's possible.
Ringless Joe says, bad football weekend start for the Fanatic hosts. Cardinals, Colts, Commandos lost. Cardinals should have won that game, but the Bills back in with way too many chances.
I would agree with that.
The Colts, were looking good in some areas, bad in others. I'm still not sure what the hell went wrong there. Is it my defense? I mean, the offense seemed to be chugging along pretty good.
I mean, the offense was chugging along. It's kind of the defense, but the Texans are really loaded.
Yeah, I think that was what I started saying.
Yeah,
when we showed back up here on Monday,
Collins,
it just feels like they got
Dell,
stars and we
Diggs.
didn't. That was the difference.
Yeah.
Last Optimist says, if you show up with a gun and say your money or life, that is an implicit threat to murder the person. No, it's a threat of a choice.
But it's not a choice. It's give me your stuff or I'm going to kill you. And that's really not a choice. There's no guarantee, by the way, that if I give you my stuff, you won't kill me. You've pointed the gun at me.
It's an implied verbal contract.
It's not a contract at all.
After you're shot, you just yell after him, I'm gonna sue.
Yeah. Because there's nothing for me to agree to. It's just you pointed the gun at me. I have to assume my life is in danger until you're no longer pointing the gun at me.
Justin in Face in the Crowd says, if only someone in California knows the law and could explain it to the fourth dimension.
A certain 7-foot lawyer who does law in California.
Keon's right. I'm not arguing that he's right, but just because this fella rolled around and wrestled with a guy bigger than him doesn't change that it's attempted murder. Mr. Wilbur says, which of the 3 C's, Colts, Commandos, Cardinals, will win this weekend? I need help filling out my pool. Well, I mean, that goes without saying, Wilbur. But let's see.
I guarantee nothing with the Commanders. They're playing the Giants, and I still guarantee nothing.
Where's my sheet? Printed out my sheet. I already did my picks, by the way.
The Commanders, I haven't done mine yet.
Don't usually do it. I usually do it the day of. Let's see here. Cardinals are playing the Rams. Colts are playing Green Bay. I think the Colts definitely will get a W because Jordan Love's probably not going to play.
Yeah, you guys go up against Malik Willis. I feel like you can just go ahead and chalk that one up.
Yep. You got the Giants. I like your chances.
It's a winnable game.
And you're at home.
But Washington does have the worst secondary in football. And if anyone gets to make Daniel Jones look like an actual legitimate NFL quarterback again, it'd be my team.
But Randy, your Cardinals at home against the Rams, I think you have the toughest matchup.
I don't think so. We'll beat the Yams and move on to the next game.
No, you do have the toughest matchup. I mean, Green Bay will be easy for the Colts. Presumably, the Giants should be pretty easy for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the
not.
Rams.
Wait, why would you presume that?
I'm just trying to make you feel good.
Don't. I've watched this team. I know they're not good.
Why on earth would you jinx us that way, Jeffrey?
You think you have a tougher matchup than Randy?
Because my team is worse. Yeah. Because the team's worse.
Daniel Jones is so damn bad.
Did you see Emmanuel Forbes get beaten every which way by every receiver the Buccaneers had?
Did you see how bad Daniel Jones was?
Yeah, it's the completely stoppable force by the meaning the absolutely movable object. I mean, I don't know what to make of this. I wouldn't be shocked if Washington won, but I don't think
enjoy the game.
I mean, I will. And I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a fun day, but
Randy has the tough one. I'll stand by that. Ringless Joe says, my Lions played amazingly. David Montgomery's a beast, and that overtime touchdown drive brought a tear to my eye. I'll tell you what, they did show up and show out when they needed to. I mean, they're not perfect, but those Lions pretty damn good. And can't say enough about how these Lions are just suddenly something different.
Mm-hmm.
T-Licious says, F that kid and his defense attorney. Best part of this situation was when Pearsall got to see the officer and EMT that helped him save his life on the field Monday night. Yeah, I had a couple of those ladies were out there with him. Yeah, I saw them. That was cool.
But why F the defense attorney? Like, that's his job. You're legally required to have a defense. He's the defense. He's just doing his job.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times it's just doing your job is making sure this person is legally and appropriately defended. But a lot of time, the defender, when you know the guy did it, he just comes across as sleazy as hell.
It does, but we're not talking about a guy defending some incredibly wealthy person. He's defending a kid, and that's like his job is to make sure that person doesn't get as many, as few years as possible in whatever their sentence is. He's doing it.
Bat Flipper says Commanders will win. Raygun's a better breakdancer than Daniel Jones is a quarterback. Wow.
It's an impossibly low bar.
That's just crushing.
I think that I'm not underestimating how bad of a quarterback Daniel Jones is. He is terrible. What I think you all are underestimating is how bad that Washington secondary is. It's awful.
Fish Tank says, does anyone think Malik Willis can even kind of move the football? No.
I saw him in the preseason. That was not great.
Swazman wants to know if you think sketchy attorney, defense attorney Johnny Cochran hangs out with OJ in the afterlife. Figure they both went the same place.
I mean, I don't know.
If there's an afterlife, I'm pretty sure they went the same place.
Because if you're lying and your job is to be a defense attorney, I don't know. I don't think that you're in the same place as the guy that actually killed the two people.
OJ absolutely went to hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, if there are levels to the thing, he ain't in the same level as the guy that actually committed the murders. You know what I mean? Like, that's...
Sir Drives a Lot says Wilbur can see the field better than Daniel Jones. Wilbur can see the field better than Kyler Murray. That's just true.
Wow.
All right, let's take a break. Let's take a break.
That hurts. That hurts right
When
there.
we come back, more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-970-8855. That's 800-970-8855. 800-970-8855.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
The Arizona general election is approaching on November 5th, 2024. Remember, the deadline to register to vote in this election is October 7th. If you request an early ballot, you can sign up to receive text messages or email updates about the status of your ballot. Find more information at arizona.vote. That's arizona.vote. Or call 1-877-THE-VOTE. Make your vote count and let your voice be heard. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
So, Randy, I was doing a transgender operation on a legal alien in prison the other day. And, we're back. 888-368-1580 is the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Well, you didn't know that happened? That's real. That really happens. So Christian McCaffrey, boy, I really apologize to everybody who took Christian McCaffrey with the first pick in the Daily Blender NFL Fantasy Football Draft. Man, he'd been healthy for like an entire year, no problems. And he had that like sort of injury-prone designation from the year before. But he got through an entire season. Everybody's like, ooh. And then now there was some mumblings about things in training camp, and now they're he's got the Achilles tendonitis. Does that mean he's just a ticking time bomb? He's a ticking time bomb to have the Aaron Rodgers injury, where the thing snaps.
I think tendonitis is swelling and inflammation. So I would say that the more rest he gets, and he doesn't use that tendon in an NFL game, the more time he can rest it and just keep working with it, the better it's going to be. But if he goes out there and tries to perform, early in the season, I think you could hear a pop, and that'd be the end of that.
What do you do? What do you do about this? I mean, is there a thing you can do? Because a lot of times they'll say, let it happen, and then the recovery is quicker because then you have a surgery and you're fine. Trying to fix it now is going to be lengthier. Is this the same sort of thing?
It kind of is. It's a rest thing, really. He just needs to take some stress off of it so that it doesn't go. But the season's here.
How long do you need to rest that thing before it's 100%?
It's unclear because it kind of depends on the person. There's no real way to know. They're just going to have to try and manage it. And if it ever feels like it's too tight one day, you just can't push it because that would be the day that something would happen.
Well, we're going to have to put him in stasis. If we could get him in some sort of cryogenic freeze outside of that, he wants to play. I mean, Kyle Shanahan was saying is like, man, if it had been a playoff game, he was like, he'd have played, and but they don't want to ruin him. They're trying to be careful with this, and but I don't know. I mean, this is one of those things where, wow, sorry guys, I hope you got Mason. If you picked up Christian McCaffrey and you didn't handcuff him, or at least find yourself a third premier running back, you're kind of hosed. You are kind of hosed. And I was shocked to see my wife got Mason on the waiver wire. Can you believe that?
There are some people who did. Yeah.
Oh my God. I would love to get that.
Because there's a lot of people who just didn't have any idea who Jordan Mason was prior to that game.
Did you get anybody good on the waiver?
I'd have to double check. I don't remember.
Randy,
I don't
did
remember.
you even?
I had I was going for Isaiah Likely, and I was.
We all did.
14.
Yeah.
So.
I did go for Likely. I did get the the Texans defense, which they're playing the Bears.
That is something you shouldn't have to use a waiver thing on. You know that, right? You just go in there after and just grab your defense. Don't screw yourself out of a waiver position for a defense.
Well,
unless you're really, really desperate for it.
It wasn't desperation, but I really wanted to get the team that was playing the Bears.
I'm looking to see who got Likely. I can't see it on our thing. You know who got Likely? Lucky. Maybe somebody already had.
I can tell you
might have
it wasn't
already
me.
had Likely in ours.
Tell you that much.
Anyways, back to what we're talking about. So Christian McCaffrey, he's tender. When will they? I guess if you're going to wait for him, listen, the 49ers season is going to be fine. The 49ers play the Vikings this Sunday. How's their defense?
The Vikings defense? I mean, unclear. They played the Giants week 1.
Right. So you can't tell for sure.
I don't know. They were good against the Giants, but it was the Giants.
If Mason can get the job done again and everything is going fine, you get the W. You keep resting Christian McCaffrey till he's ready. So it could be weeks and weeks before he plays again, because the longer he can rest that, the better. And the more you can get out of Mason, the better. I mean, he's a cheaper, star than Brock Purdy ever was. If you look at, he's undrafted.
Yeah.
So, roll with it, baby. But the 49ers, I wouldn't worry too much about them.
But they're still loaded.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no,
so
you
sorry.
don't have Christian McCaffrey. You only have George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and apparently Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
They're suffering out there.
I feel so bad for you.
So
you only have the other All-Stars and Pro Bowlers on your team. Yeah.
They say it's a long shot to play against the Vikings this week. So
yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't play him against the Vikings. What would be the point? The Vikings aren't good.
No, it's so early in the season, and you don't want to risk the guy that you're going to need ready to go in the playoffs, and and possibly a Super Bowl. So, a little more injury report stuff, and you know what, Randy? I'll tell you what. Maybe next week I'll bring back Dr. Jeffrey.
I think you should,
just for you. But
I think you should. By golly,
right. I feel like I kind of need to tell people about these things like the day that they happen instead of wait until a certain time and tell everybody. Because people got to make decisions on their fantasy football, my man.
Sure. No, I understand.
So here's what I do know. Jonah Williams is going to miss some time. I guess Cardinals right tackle Jonah Williams hurt his knee last Sunday. And so I'm not sure how long he'll be out, but they went ahead and signed Julian Akawara to the roster, an edge rusher. So I guess the backup for the other guy is going to play. And is this really, how do you feel about that, Randy? That Kyler Murray says, it's not my job to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball.
Well, I don't know what context it was said in. I think, sometimes we read these quotes, but we didn't hear the whole thing. Like I heard people today talking about Tyreek's, his response to the incident yesterday. And then when I heard the press conference, it wasn't anything like the press made it out to sound like Tyreek was remorseful, because he wasn't. So I don't know what kind of context it was. And I think if Kyler did say this and meant it as that, then that's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. And I don't care about my grammar. I think it was the dumbest thing he could have said, because he's the quarterback. It is his job to get targets to Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but first off, when something happens on a team, if the team is run any kind of well, and it appears the Cardinals might actually be that now, everybody kind of gets their story straight. Everybody understands what the talking points are. The offensive coordinator said the same thing. He said that's not Kyler's job to get and in the context of it seemed to be to me one player the ball. Like, it's not his job to just get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. It's his job to spread the ball around, to make sure that the offense is moving up and down the field. And if Marvin Harrison Jr. is available and factors into that, get him the ball. And if he's not, then you have to be looking somewhere else.
Well, then, like I said, like I started with, that I would agree with.
Yeah, and the fact that the offensive coordinator verbatim said the same thing tells me that that's probably more along the lines of what they mean, and not just that Kyler woke up out of bed one day and decided, yeah, I am going to sound like an infant today, and and apparently throw my wide receiver under the bus, which is the only other way you could take that.
Well, it is Drew Petzing's job, and he says that getting him the ball is forefront in all of their minds. And because if you think about it, getting Kyler to throw it to Marvin Harrison Jr., you feel like that should be a good thing, but you got to get him in a rhythm. You can't just chuck it at him a couple of times and not. He's a rookie, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's got to get he's got to get used to the situation. I don't think they did much with him in preseason, did they?
He didn't play at all, which people thought was at least a little unusual. Like not even a couple of snaps, not even a series, like nothing. He just did not play.
Right.
So that was a factor there. And Kyler threw the ball to him a couple of times and he dropped it early. And I think that there was a lack of trust there too.
Can I just say something unrelated? And we got a lot of text here, and I'll pick it back up when we come back. But as I was sitting there looking at some of the stats and stuff, and the ad came up, God help me, but that Hummer, that electric Hummer we keep seeing the commercials for, costs $140,000 if you do it right, and it's an electric vehicle. But God damn, I love the way it looks.
It does have a nice look to it. Man.
I feel like do they have that with an engine in it, like a real engine? Because I might want one if it has like a V8 in it, but I don't know. I'm just saying. Hour 3 is up next. It's Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry,
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-970-8855. That's 800-970-8855. 800-970-8855.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we were just talking about how Kyler Murray says it's not his job to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. Well, dude, it's exactly your job. And, of course, Keon says, well, maybe that was out of context. So I got to go find the actual interview and see what that context was.
I didn't hear the interview, but I read a more full quote, and I read the full quote of what Drew Petzing said. And it seems like it's more along the lines of, it's not just my job to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball, as in I have other people to feed too. It's not just him.
All right. Well, that's fair. That is fair. But you drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first pick. He's probably one of the best receivers that you're going to see in a generation, and you got to get that kid going. So everybody's like, what the hell? Why didn't they ever throw him the ball? So it's not about your job to get one guy going. It's just your job to get anything going, and you didn't get much going, did you?
Well, they got Dortch going. Dortch was just all day open, but
that's like muscle memory though for him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they're going to build chemistry, but they don't have any live game chemistry. Kyler didn't play in the preseason. Marvin didn't play in the preseason. Now they're out there and the bullets are live. And Marvin had a little bit of a rough start. He had a what would have been an 18-yard gain that he dropped, like just straight up hit him in his hands and he dropped it. That's going to affect the way that game flows from that point forward. he'll be fine. But that was a rough first start.
Quiet Cannon says, "Hey, Randy, did you see how good the Rams were against the Lions? Lions won because they had the ball last. The Rams are pretty good. Cardinals are actually in a tough division, you know."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we're in a tough division. This is game 2. And I will give you my prediction coming up this Friday. Of course, you could stand by for Thursday. Sorry,
That's tomorrow.
Thursday. You can stand by for that, and I'll let you know what I think about the yams.
Be ready
the
tomorrow.
Hollywood yams.
Because tomorrow we're doing that. See,
It's tomorrow.
Yeah,
It would be
Thursday
tomorrow.
at 3 p.m. we do our picks.
Yeah.
And then at 4 p.m. we hear
Yeah.
from the king of fantasy football to answer
Oh,
all
the
your
king.
fantasy football questions.
See, I've been gone quite a bit, so I can't wait to talk to the king.
He had some really nice things to say about you. We
Really?
should go back and grab that so you can hear it. He said just the nicest of things about you. Swazman says, also Jeff Wilson, Miami, already banged up running back for the Dolphins. Yeah, the Dolphins are kind of hurting for running back right now. I keep saying, I can't ever say his name right. Achan?
It's Achan, yeah.
Ooh, I got it right. Yeah. Then Mostert, he's hurt. That's
Yeah,
a
chest injury. Didn't practice today.
So I don't know who's running for them now. T-Licious says Greenlaw had the same issue last year, and then it popped when it did. And once that pops, is it quicker to repair? I mean, you almost, what do you do?
I mean, once it goes, you're done for the year. There's kind of not anything they can do to stop that aspect of it, except hope that the surgery is good and that you're ready to go week 1 the following season.
Boy, I hope they figure this out for him. Mr. Wilbur says Dr. Jeffrey Kevorkian. But I ain't trying to put nobody asleep.
Wow.
Chief Skull says, I am screwed in my fantasy football team with Green Bay not putting Jordan Love on the IR. So I'm stuck holding him and not having a backup. I have to keep playing Tua. I gotta think, Chief Skull, that you could drop Jordan Love and find somebody else. I don't think the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love are going to be very good this year. I don't think you're going to miss much without him. Boy, Keon hates that. He does not agree.
I don't. What I saw on Friday before Jordan Love went down was Packers team that was getting their offense going with Jordan Love. I mean, without him, they're not going to be very good. Like I'm not going to, defend Malik Willis in the way that he's played. He hasn't looked good.
Who's going to grab him off the waiver wire if he puts him down?
Yeah, that I agree with that. And if someone took Jordan Love right now, you mean to tell me that you can't find another quarterback that'll put up big numbers?
Chief Skull, you're in a 10-team league. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a quarterback out there you can grab. Tell me what league you're in. I'll help you. Ringless Joe says, apparently Kirk Cousins is healthy, but you wouldn't have known that by watching him play Sunday. What the hell were the Falcons thinking? Yeah, what went wrong with the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins did not, for whatever reason, could not maintain the level of intensity they started with. They looked great in that first half, essentially. Second half, not so much. So I don't know, but I understand why you go after a guy like a Kirk Cousins. Like that makes sense. You need a quarterback, and they weren't in a position to draft the guy that they thought was ready to start right away.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. No, I don't. Rough Rob says
he's making a lot of money. I think.
He's fine. Kyler Murray, dumbass comment. That's all I can read of what he said. Baker's Cocky Hen says it's the same story. Game on the line. Kyler was too short to see over the line, and Harrison was wide open for the win. Same old story.
I mean, I don't know. His head was just to the left, like he got locked on a receiver on the other side. I didn't see a guy who couldn't see over the line. I saw a guy who just straight up wasn't looking.
Follow 51 says it's his first game. RELAX. Yes.
Yeah.
Relax. That spells relax, Randy.
We have relax.
I thought that was X-Lax. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Sorry.
Moist One says, I would pick up Jordan Love and stash him. See, now you have to figure, does he mean it in a fantasy football sense or something else?
But Moist One's not in your league either. So
he's in our league, yeah.
Yeah. So Moist One can't do that. I assume he means it both ways.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, remember, all of us now in our 50s don't jump off stuff like ladders, fences, down steps. We'll end up like Aaron Rodgers.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
I don't do those cool moves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I used to do a thing when I was in high school. I could walk up to the front of a stage, like in the orchestra pit kind of area, not down in it, but like there's an area of stage, and I could just from the standstill jump from the ground up onto the stage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now I think of that, and I'm like, oh my God, if I missed, my shins would have been destroyed. You know, but man, when you're young and made out of rubber, you don't think that way. And I cleared that thing. I had ups back then.
And
now,
once you do it a few times, you feel really confident about it.
If I try that crap on a step, I'm risking a lot.
On the curb.
Yeah. I'm like, where's that little slopey part of the curb? Right.
Just kind of amble on up.
Ramp up onto this thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the only way to go about it, too.
Gamecock says, first pick in fantasy is a curse. I have it for the second time, and my guy is injured again. I don't know about that. I don't know, but yeah. I mean,
is it a curse, or is it you're most likely to draft Christian McCaffrey if you're drafting number one, and Christian McCaffrey gets hurt a lot?
I don't know a whole lot of people who didn't draft Christian McCaffrey if they had the first pick.
Yeah.
It's the right pick. You can't second guess that stuff.
Well, because the thing is, if nothing's wrong with him, you just let somebody at number 2 get the best player in the league.
She Skull says Jordan Love is trade bait. He's worth keeping. He says, I don't agree. I'm not dropping him. I don't want somebody to steal him.
What do genuine question. What do people get out of trading in fantasy football? If the league's not a dynasty league, what do you get out of trading? Like at worst case or the best case scenario, if you're trading with anybody even remotely intelligent, is you come out even in the trade.
So if you're in a fantasy football league of the Daily Blender and somebody keeps bugging you for a trade, that's our boy here. Ever since he was a little kid, man, the first time he'd be trying to trade, he would sit there and play Madden, just do all those trades and everything. He just loves to trade. And I think he's in the league with your sister, Keon, and he keeps trying to trade your sister for stuff. These like crazy 3-player for 2-player trades.
Why? What would anybody get out of that?
I think she did one because it was a pretty good deal. But outside of that, I mean, I told him, I says, nobody's going to want to trade with you.
If you have
he's like, why? I said, because the Daily Blender listeners are bastards. They don't want you to have anything good.
But also, if you have a player that you don't like, you think you can do better. If you're trading with me, I know that's why.
Well, I told him today at lunch. He's across the table at lunch, and he's like, well, I got to try. I wanted this. I said, think about it the other way around. Would you do this trade? Because you don't have to think about what you are going to get out of it. What are they going to get out of it? What do they need? And, you know, if you don't have a good answer for that, you're not going to get the trade done. But God bless him. He just sits there. He tries. He keeps trying.
Good for him. If that's what
so glad he's not in our league. Man, my email would be constantly bling, bling, bling. He is relentless.
I would ignore you. It's just, especially if I think your trade is dumb. That's just it's worth the laugh every day.
Big George seems to think that now people out of spite will pick him up off the waiver. Jordan Love. He said, that's a fourth dimension for you. They'll just grab him out of spite. Sir Drives a Lot says, I'm holding on to Jordan Love. Picked up Stafford. All right. That's not bad.
Respectable.
Moist One says, you had ups back then. Now you have downs. Yes. I have the downs. Swave Dave says, I just went back to work about a month ago after breaking my leg and ankle. I was out for 5 months. Damn. Baker's Cocky Hen says, don't mess with the curbs, guys. I stepped barefoot onto a curb once accidentally. Big toe tried to hang on, causing it to split open and at the crease of the toe and foot. Curbs don't mess around. I can't even imagine how I read it and I still don't.
Like, was it so hot your foot stuck to the ground? Like, what
his big toe tried to separate from the foot? What the hell were you? You got to be drunk. You got to have part of that story where you were drinking.
Yeah, you just the curb by itself. What do you mean? Was something on the curb that caused that to happen?
I don't know. Do we want to really know?
Well, that's the other thing,
Are
isn't
you
it?
sure we want to know?
That's because once you open up that can of worms,
Bottle of 51 says, I think it's because all the media talks about our trades and contracts anymore. It's no X's and O's. Well,
what does that have to do with your fantasy football trades?
What X's and O's?
You don't need to trade in fantasy football. I don't know. I will never trade you.
I had this I had this in the middle of all my prep. If you're watching on YouTube Live, it's a list of all the people who like Donnie.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Just for no reason. Just
It's not even a stray. You pointed it right at him.
No reason at all. Swazman says, Keon, maybe now it's time to try a trade for Christian McCaffrey. Give the other team all your players. Well, that would be who's the first person who had Christian McCaffrey in our league? Whoever it is, they have Mason.
It was the Moist one.
Oh, that's right. Moist one. That's right.
And he already had Mason on his roster, ready to go. When McCaffrey goes down, the Moist one just went boop.
Yeah, Moist one is he's a two-time winner of the Premier League.
For a reason, because if he didn't have that, I'd have caught him. But no, that well played, sir,
and well played Berg for getting likely. Anyway,
yeah.
Did I say Jameson Williams is limited with an ankle injury? Did I say that? Did we talk about that? Yeah, well, he is. So,
yeah,
that's a bummer for all the people who ran out and grabbed him. Josh Downs and Matt Gay, the kicker. He's returning to Colts practice, so that's good news for my Colts at least. We told you about Raheem Mostert not playing on Thursday Night Football. This was interesting. I was watching this game there. It was the Ravens and the Chiefs, right? And Kyle Van Noy fractured an orbital bone. That's the eye hole. The bone, like your eyebrow. That's basically where your eyebrow.
Right.
And he fractured that during the game. And he said he was forced to wait a long time to even see an ophthalmologist. And he said the home team should have been prepared. Usually they have all these different trauma people and these different people who are there ready in case somebody suffers an eye injury. He says, I was disappointed in the way the training staff for the Chiefs handled the situation. And he says, it wasn't just that. They didn't even seem to care. He says, I just feel like as a player, there's an expectation that doesn't matter. He said it wasn't about them being the Chiefs and us being the Ravens. It was just that facility didn't have what was needed, and they didn't seem to really care. So he was a little bit, bummed out by the whole thing and felt like maybe the care was not as good as it could be. So he says, yeah, the players have given that training room an F. And with my experience, F. I give him an F as well. So,
which, by the way, the Cardinals got a C- in their grade in that training room. The Chiefs were below them and the Steelers and the Chargers, D. So not a big fan of the Chiefs, not a big fan of their own training room, not a big fan of their own training staff.
Yeah, he says when things like that hurt, you're hurt, you expect some care. And he says, they took an entire quarter to get down and even talk to me in the locker room, which is unacceptable because then you start thinking, what if I was trying to get back in the game? What if I was really, really hurt? He says, mine happened to be moderate, but it was still serious because, it's the eye and your expectation of someone to be down there as the training staff is asking him to be down there, maybe there'd be a little urgency or something. So he has a point.
Yeah,
he does. I mean, they have like a whole bunch of different doctors that are able to take care of several different things. So why is Kyle Van Noy got to sit there waiting to get hurt? I mean, to get care for being hurt. So
yeah, and especially with the eye, because that's a long-term risk. Like if someone doesn't treat that quickly and properly, it could be a thing where you have blindness setting in. Like they really do need somebody there on top of that.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, as your local Dolphins official, I'm only seeing Achane as a game time decision and not ruled out yet. Well, that I'm just telling you what they said. It's very probable that he will not play. So, and Raheem Mostert as well. Quiet Cannon says Molson might be a good running back. Molson? You mean Mason?
I think he probably means Mason.
How can we be sure? When the 49ers have the best O-line in the NFL, who a good running back is? Just ask Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuels. You got to be able to do the deed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, a good O-line helps a running back be even better, but you still have to have the talent. You still have to have the abilities.
And to me, like, what difference does it make? Like, if he can run well behind that offensive line, do you think the Niners care whether or not Jordan Mason really is a good running back? No. They've got a guy who's playing that position on an incredibly cheap deal, who is capable of replacing enough of the production of their starter that it didn't really cost them a victory. That's all they care about. That's all anybody should care about. What difference could it possibly make?
Ringless Joe says, why did Joe Burrow and the Bungles always lose games they should win on paper by double digits? Well, here's the deal. I don't know if they always do or did, but right now, Joe Burrow is still dealing with a lot of pain in that wrist. You might end up seeing him, I don't know, going back for more as far as surgery goes, because he's hurting.
He's lying right now. He said that the wrist is absolutely not affecting my throws.
Why would he do that? Why is he lying about that? Does he not have guaranteed money? He should just get that thing healed up and get your ass off the field until it's ready.
Their doctors must think that the wrist is in good enough condition for him to go out there and play.
Joe Burrow, stop going to the Chiefs doctors.
Yeah, but he was getting manhandled last weekend, man.
He was.
He's in a dangerous spot.
And that offensive line is still not good. Like,
I mean,
there's a reason he gets injured every other year.
Right.
That's why. The thing is, if they continue to clear him, he's going to play, because Joe Burrow's like that. The money, you're getting paid all this stuff, but the guy really wants to win. He got that close to winning a Super Bowl and didn't get there. Of course he wants to get back and have that opportunity. He's going to play until they tell him he can't play.
Baker's Cocky Hens explains his toe injury. I just had installed a car seat and there was a limited amount of space. It was dark and I misjudged where the curb was supposed to be there, apparently. Hard to remember much after the resulting shins, both slamming the curb right after. I ran into the house thinking I was going to be the grandpa from King of the Hill to learn my town was split open, leaking blood everywhere. I think he meant toe, not town.
Yeah, toe. Yeah. So that was the circumstances. There was just dark.
Eek.
Which,
yeah. Barefoot.
That'll
get
get
out
you.
there barefoot.
That'll get you. I mean, if he thought it was just a quick, I'm going to run out to the car, handle this, and run back in the house.
Right.
Maybe.
I always wear flip-flops, if nothing else.
That's smart.
I went to go to get something from a Circle K, and I had on the flip-flops, and I pull up, and I turn to start getting out, and one of my flip-flops fell off. I was like, oh, geez. That's way down there now. Oh, I'm like, how am I going to do this? I don't want to walk barefoot in the Circle K parking lot.
Not at all.
Oh, yeah. But at least I had one good foot. Anyway, listen, we got to take a break. We come back. Let's talk more football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL, the Arizona Cardinals will be home in Glendale on Sunday as they take on Matt Stafford and the LA Rams in an AFC West matchup. The Cardinals looking to bounce back after a 34-28 loss on the road in Buffalo for week number 1. Rams lost in overtime to the Detroit Lions. Arizona favored by 1.5 points, -120 on the money line. The Rams are at even money with the over-under of 48.5. Thursday night football, the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. Miami, a 2.5-point home favorite. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, sports bettors, Jeffrey O'Brien here to tell you about my favorite sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS.com. Football's back, so it's time to get in on the action. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS. If you want a game plan to win this season, then check out BetUS. BetUS went large for you this season with a huge offer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's right, a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value other sportsbooks simply simply don't offer. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, and casino bonuses. Plus, they have all the products you need. Competitive odds, parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and prop betting. And when you're ready to lay down your bet, give your bet an edge. Why not combine your sign-up bonus with knowledge? Get that knowledge with expert analysis, picks, and predictions on all major sports on their very own BetUS TV. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MyBetUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Ralph?
Yeah, Neil.
Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m. Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley. I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week.
And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel.
So what are you going to do, Ralph?
I'm just going to be right all the time, like always.
Whatever.
It's the Weekend Warriors football Sunday.
Starting in September.
At 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, as we head into week 2 of the NFL, a new study has found that even just tailgating at a game could break your bank, man. Some gambling site looked at how much it costs to tailgate at each NFL stadium, and the average for 4 people, $205. Just a tailgate. Just to show up and tailgate. Price varies.
Is that like just going and parking and then putting out the spread of food and all that business?
Let me take you through it. So depends on where you are, of course, and the most expensive spot was just on Monday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers have the most expensive tailgate, $292. Parking alone, that accounts for $132. It's $132 to park a damn car. 160 covers food, water, soda, 16 beers, so 4 beers per person, and that's how they figure out the tailgate. And the rest of the top 5 most expensive tailgates: LA Rams $258, Dallas Cowboys $242, Eagles $238 in Philadelphia, and your Washington Commandos, Keon, $224 to tailgate in that parking lot.
Well, is the tailgating like you have to you have to rent a spot to tailgate?
No, I don't.
Is that why it's so expensive?
I don't think so. I think you just park and set up, just to park there, unless you have to park in 2 spaces.
Sometimes I see these guys, they take up multiple spaces and they'll put a tent out there.
Yeah,
and
tailgaters. How does that work? Is it you have to buy a separate spot? Yeah, you're right, Randy.
You kind of have to, right?
Well, you just pay to get in the parking lot. Or they have a special place for tailgaters, so you have to pay like a fee to come in. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that $160 covers food, water, soda, 16 beers. So anytime these things are sorted, 160 is universal, I think, as far as the food and the beers and whatnot. So, but the Arizona Cardinals have the cheapest tailgate, $158. Why? It's hot outside.
Well,
that definitely doesn't help.
Yeah, because they have free parking or special tailgate parking spots for about $20.
Right.
I mean, I ain't tailgating for another 2 months. I've gone to a tailgate. My wife and I walked through, and we knew some people down there that were tailgating. It's a hell of a party down there. Where the way they set it up, it is pretty damn cool. But not yet. Still 105. What was today?
Well, I mean, today was 107.
Still
107 today. But but look, tomorrow, Friday and Saturday will be the end of the hundreds. Tomorrow 105, Friday 102, and 100 on Saturday. Sunday it's going to be 90 with a 30% chance of showers.
Still no.
And the overnight lows. Listen to this, Jeffco. Are in the 70s tonight. It'll be down to 77. Friday morning, it will be 69 degrees.
Listen, I don't care.
Tuesday will be 85 for the high, 63 the overnight low.
I don't care. What I care about is
get your
let me
rye
know
grass in
when it is no hotter than 80 degrees. Then maybe I'll go to a tailgate because then I can at least stand in the shade.
That won't be for a while.
All right,
it'll be around January.
I will not be tailgating. Other cheap places to tailgate: the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, of course, and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are actually not too bad at $181. So, anyway, hey, listen, ASU is playing Texas State Bobcats on Thursday night, so we probably won't have a whole lot of time to talk about this because Friday, Keon does his college football dance party. Tomorrow's all NFL. So how about now? Keon, why don't you go ahead and take us through ASU visiting the Texas State Bobcats and tell us how our chances are.
Yeah, I think that this could be a really big game as far as, just testing yourself against a team that's playing pretty well. Texas State is off to a really good start this season. They're 2-0. They won their first couple of games. Their quarterback, Jordan McLeod, looks amazing. In week 1, he had 238 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns. He added another couple of touchdowns last week, another 309 yards. The defense for Texas State also looks really, really good. They're 20th in the country in sacks. They're 9th in tackle for loss with 9.5 so far this season, which means that they can get into the backfield and really stop a running game. But I think you got to take all of those numbers for Texas State with a grain of salt. They played Lamar University out in Beaumont, Texas, in East Texas, and they played UTSA. These are solid schools at the level that they're at, but they're not they're not the highest level of competition, and certainly they haven't played anything close to what ASU's played so far in Wyoming and Mississippi State. So I think ASU should be up to that particular challenge. If the run game is disrupted by Texas State, then that means that there's going to be a lot of room to maybe work in a play action fake. Sam Levitt against Wyoming looked really good. He looked sharp. He looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the football. He was there. He was on time, on schedule with a lot of his throws. And then he really didn't do a whole lot versus Mississippi State because he didn't have to.
Yeah, it's all Scadaboo.
Yeah, you can just keep giving the ball to Cam Scadaboo. So they're going to probably try and establish that run early and see if Texas State really is up to that billing of where their defense is and if they're capable of stopping him and slowing him down. If they are, there's going to be action off of that to run. And I do think that ASU, their defense deserves some credit as well. They're one of the top teams in the nation in getting sacks. So Jordan McLeod, as good as he can be, and he has been good so far. And Texas State went through an awful lot of quarterbacks, a quarterback carousel that eventually wound up having them with Jordan McLeod. And there's a little interest in this game. There's a little ASU connection. Their coach, J.G. Kinney, used to be Todd Graham's assistant when he was the head coach here at ASU. So, there'll be a little bit of
that's a long time ago.
And so it's a while ago. But he's having a really good season as the coach of Texas State. I just don't see Texas State hanging with ASU. I think ASU's played tough for competition. And whatever the threats that Jordan McLeod pose as an offensive player, or whatever the threats are that they pose as a defense, they do have very good linebackers. I think ASU is up for the challenge because they've played tougher.
Well, right now, the betting line on this is ASU is minus 125. Texas State is plus 105, and the spread is 1.5. What do you think? Over or under?
I think that ASU covers the 1.5. Yeah, I think they're a better football team here, and I understand that Texas State, it's 1.5 because Texas State is getting a lot of credit for just how good they've been, and they've got a program that they've been working on building. They became an FBS school back in 2012, so they're pretty recently playing at this level, and they've been working on that and building that, and I think a lot of people are giving them credit for it, and rightfully so. I just think ASU is a much tougher team than any team they've faced so far this season, and every team ASU's faced so far this season is better than the competition that they have. So I'm going to go with the Sun Devils.
Yay! Go ASU. Sir Drives a Lot says, go Devils. Gamecock says, Utsa is solid. Come on, Keon.
Yeah, I did say they were solid, but I don't think they're better than Mississippi State.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, Mystics are up 18 in the second quarter, Keon.
Yeah.
Okay.
We that's from another show. We're on this one.
Why? What's the story on that?
Well, he was saying that betting the Mystics, what was it? Mystics money line for first half has just been a bet that's been paying out for him, and good. Keep making money. Do that.
There you go.
We root for you, man.
There you go. 888-368-1580. All right. Daniel Jones. He's got one win. He's got 2 touchdown passes and 3 pick sixes in the last 2 seasons. That's how much he has contributed for all the money that they've paid him. 4-year, $160 million contract, and he's only won 1 game as a starting quarterback. He's thrown only 2 touchdown passes, and he's thrown 3 interceptions. They got returned for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You paid $160 million. And you spurned and just turned your back on Saquon Barkley.
Who was your offense?
How did they fire that GM yet?
No.
What?
And they had the offseason Hard Knocks this year, and if I were the Giants, I would have begged HBO to not air half the things that came out there. When they sat there and they were begging Saquon to come back over the phone, and Saquon obviously said no because they hadn't planned on paying him more than what they offered him the first time. So he's like, no, I'm out of here. And then they're sitting in this meeting, and it's a very, the serious music is playing for Hard Knocks, and the coaches are all looking at each other, and they go, is this the right decision? And everybody is trying to figure out, what they're going to do now. And then one coach goes, if we let him go, what's our identity? That's a question you should have asked before you refused to pay him the first time. How are you just now asking this question? What is our identity without Saquon Barkley? And I can tell you what your identity is. You suck. What a bunch of dopes in New York. I mean, like, just genuinely losers. If I woke up tomorrow and I was Giants owner John Mara, I'd give every one of them a raise. Keep doing exactly that, because I like it when the Giants are bad. That's a poorly run organization right now. I can't believe that team has won 2 Super Bowls in my life.
If you're a Mara, you wouldn't do that. That makes no sense.
I mean, if I woke up as him and I had to be him for like a day.
Okay,
everyone's getting 10-year deals.
I think you meant permanently him.
Oh, even permanently. My goal would be to ruin the Giants. Yeah, no, those guys would stay there forever.
Brian Daboll is not necessarily the problem, but he's definitely not part of a solution. This is the GM. This is the ownership who has made this mistake and created this cast of loser characters. But Brian Daboll, he's got to go too, right? Or he's going to get caught up in that wake anyway.
Well,
he should.
Joe Schoen is the GM, but he should, yeah. Because if Brian Daboll, I find it difficult to believe if Brian Daboll went to Joe Schoen and said, hey, I understand where we are financially. I need Saquon to win. I need him out there. We can't let him leave. I don't need Daniel Jones as much. Maybe we don't pay him X amount of dollars and then end up trying to replace him in the draft anyway. I need Saquon. If he had said that, they'd still have Saquon.
Did they lose Tommy DeVito?
No, he's still on the roster.
I think he's
still at least they still have him.
Yeah.
Wilbur
Tommy
says
Cutlets.
Shouldn't Daniel Jones leave his football career and go back to rekindle his music career with his brother Davey of the Monkees? Wow, that's just horrible. That was just so dumb.
It's a very forced.
Yeah. Wow.
One there.
And that, right there, I felt a little sorry for you being blind. Just there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized your being blind had nothing to do with how dumb that was.
Mm. Sorry, Wilburn.
Was that the last time you could see is when the Monkees were on?
Oh, man.
Because, the rest of us has moved on. I had Davy Jones from the Monkees on the show. He was the worst guest we ever had. And
oh my God.
Honest to goodness, that's true story. And, oh, he was horrible. He was cool in the pre-interview. I was like, hey, man, what's he doing? He was like, oh, yeah. And then I think he took a nap and got drunk, and he was just belligerent. And I just like, you know what? Get off my phone. Click. I hung up on Davy Jones from the Monkees. True story. I don't give a crap who you think you are. Sorry, your nap wasn't long enough, old man, but get off my phone. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Moise once said, if I was John Mara, I'm definitely looking in the mirror naked.
Excuse
me?
me?
Why would you do that, Moise one? Wrong Mara. Wrong Mara.
No.
Now you have to take a break and take a shower. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey, and how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So we were talking about Daniel Jones and, just how bad he is, what a horrible mistake the Giants have made. And you know what? They did Saquon Barkley a favor.
They did.
For real.
They let him go to a team with an actual offensive line that functions and a real quarterback and a defense that's not half bad. And an organization that's well run from top to bottom, because Howie Roseman is no Joe Schoen. He's actually good at his job.
So this is weird. A guy we haven't heard from since like last year, Mr. Roboto says, the time has come at last to throw away the mask so everyone can see my true identity. It's Nitschke. Been away a long time, but yes, trade Daniel Jones to the Monkeys. So Nitschke, why would you call yourself Mr. Roboto and then not text in again for like 9 months? We weren't sitting around wondering. But
we are curious now. You have now brought it to our attention, and we are now curious.
How interesting.
I don't even remember Nitschke.
I just want to take the Daily Blender victory lap that we are owed, because we were all anti Daniel Jones when they paid him instead of Saquon Barkley. I don't remember specific names, but there were people on this text line who said, you got to pay the quarterback. You don't pay a running back, except if your quarterback
was that Nitschke though?
It wasn't Nitschke. I'm just
he's been.
Roboto?
Fact, I don't remember anything about him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I remember the name Nitschke.
Yeah, bring back Nitschke. I remember the name, but the 9 months being gone, I got nothing.
I think something even more repugnant than paying Daniel Jones the astronomical amount of money that they did did you guys see the uniforms they made those players wear this?
Yeah, it was like some throwback from the 1938 uniforms.
It's the worst.
But my God.
That was the worst uniform set since the Pittsburgh Bumblebee outfits that they made those guys wear. They look like Halloween outfits for kids. I mean, did you see that stuff?
I thought, at my first glance, I thought Daniel Jones was wearing a sling, but it was just that stripe across his thing.
Yeah. I thought the Columbus Blue Jackets were playing football.
Well, I turned it on and I thought it was a hockey game. I thought the Montreal Canadiens were playing. I was confused for about 5 minutes until I realized that was the damn New York Giants.
Hideous. Never wear them again, except they actually are scheduled to wear them.
So, like, strike two for me. I mean, if you're a Giants fan, I apologize, not because I've offended you, but I apologize that your team is that bad that they would wear that kind of uniform and pay that kind of money to Daniel Jones.
I'm actually glad for you, Giants fans, because the uniform was making your eyes bleed. You almost didn't notice your quarterback was doing it.
Mr. Wilbur is the only one who didn't mind.
Damn.
So, by the way, my God. So Mr. Roboto here, who says is Nitschke. In fact, the nickname was Bring Back Nitschke. He says, now back to Mr. Roboto, but I prefer Bring Back Nitschke. I think because you pulled some weird crap, you just get to keep being Mr. Roboto. That's who you are. You don't get to be Bring Back Nitschke. If you are, I'm just going to call you Nitschke for short. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? Should I punish him?
Be Mr. Roboto.
I think Mr. Roboto sounds badass.
It's a very cool name.
Yeah, that's.
Plus, you got the Domo Arigato.
Yeah.
Mr. Roboto, come on.
Yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck with Mr. Roboto as a punishment for whatever the hell it is you were doing. Why did you change your name? Why did
your name and then disappear for 3/4 of a year?
He says, I changed numbers. So then. He says, okay, Roboto it is. I'll go back to my corner. Are we going to hear from you again in 9 months?
Because you haven't helped anything. It's going to be next year when we finally hear from you again. We want you back.
I told my wife that. It's like, people come and go. They do come and go. And then they come back. And that's cool. We're here for you. You're not here for us. Life happens. Schedules change, this, that, or the other. Yeah, Roboto says, I've been working outside of the Phoenix Metro. That's right. You probably don't have the internet where there's an app you could listen to. But, whatever. That's not my business.
What if he was in the Amazon forest jungle?
They have satellite internet.
What
Internet's
if
everywhere.
he doesn't have that capability?
What the hell is he going to the Amazon for anyway?
Well, maybe he's some sort of, I don't know, biologist. And he's traveling down the Amazon to look for, species of animals that have yet to be discovered and studied.
I'm not saying that that's what Mr. Roboto does, but we did have at least one archaeologist at one point texting this show.
I'm going to
We
be
did
honest.
have an
Mr.
archaeologist.
Roboto doesn't strike me as somebody who,
Well, how do you know, though?
Science has touched.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what
come on. Mr. Roboto was a very scientific, science fiction-y type song.
Ooh, I smell
Right?
food.
Right? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
What
The wife is cooking.
What do you smell?
I hope it's food or my house is on fire. One of the two.
Hmm.
Boy, it smells good.
Well, typically when your house is on fire, it doesn't smell delicious. It just smells like fire.
It can. If you have like a fire in the kitchen.
That's true. If it's
It starts by smelling good.
Yeah,
And then
and
after that,
then,
it's
yeah,
all
then
after
it
a
just
while,
smells
then
like fire.
wood. Smell like maybe that's garlic. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Fish Tank says, "Fellas, pray for me. I'm going line dancing tonight to make up for being trashed at fantasy football drafts all weekend 2 weekends ago. I play the music. I don't dance to the music. How does that make up for anything? If
that's what she wants.
So she wants you to play the music, or
No,
you're just saying, normally you play the music,
Yeah,
you don't dance.
he-
Right now you have to dance.
Now he has to dance. Yeah.
Just do your best, man.
I don't
That
know
is-
that my body would allow me to line dance.
The best advice I ever give anybody, young or old, in a relationship is if she says she wants to dance, you always say yes. Always say yes. Doesn't matter if you're good at it. You just get in there and you dance. And remember, don't worry about what your feet are doing. It's all about up top, trying to make, and try to look like you're having fun, just do the best you can. Just being there, doing the effort. Don't worry about what the other people are thinking. Don't worry if they call 911 because they think you're having a seizure. Doesn't matter. You just get out there and you do it. Because if you say no to a woman who loves you and wants you to dance with her, she'll find someone else to dance with her. You dance with her. You just do. That's all there is to it.
That's how you get to the horizontal tango. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You start dancing vertically.
That's right. That is the key to a woman's everything. Mr. Pink Eye says, funny how Commandos and a Colts fan are making fun of the Giants. Poorly ran franchises. Colts and Commandos probably 1A and 2A. Okay.
Well,
Commandos, yes. Colts, not.
The Colts, not at all. Like Jim Irsay's weird, but that's not the same as being poorly run. I seem to remember the Colts winning a Super Bowl in my lifetime. The me making fun of the Giants is okay. I understand my team's not great, but they're under new management. Meanwhile, the Giants just signed a quarterback to a giant guaranteed contract, and he looks like a 6-pack of ass. If you don't think I'm going to sit there and laugh at that, you're insane. This is the best time to be laughing. Yes, they're just awful. If you think this is absolutely the time to be laughing at the Giants.
Have
Are
I
you
been doing
serious?
crunches for the wrong reason? 6-pack of ass.
Here's
Should I
the
be
thing,
doing
Randy.
this, like butt
No,
lifts
no,
instead?
no. It's the same as like eat a big old bag of, fat. It's just same kind of concept.
I was horrified for a second. I thought you were going to say
I
it.
thought all these years, having a 6-pack meant a 6-pack, of abs.
No, yeah.
Well, that
not
also
ass.
exists. That's just not
So-
what Daniel Jones is.
Weso Grande says, I just got back from Vegas. Smoky as heck there. I hope through your show I'll be able to place a bet the next time I'm there. What do you mean through our show? I don't understand what that means. Silly Wabbit says, why am I getting the sense that much of the fourth dimension is on the spectrum?
You're just figuring that out.
The thing is, you're probably right, but I never noticed. Which means me too.
Aren't we all?
Sir Drives a Lot says, yeah, Fish Tank, you dance like Wilbur's watching.
Wow. Wilbur is shell-shocked. He's got to be at this point.
Fish Tank says, first guy that gets in my face tonight, I'm calling him a 6-pack of ass.
Do it. It's my favorite insult.
You're a 6-pack of ass.
Why, yes, I do have a 6-pack of ass right here.
It's my favorite insult, and I only reserve it for my NFC East rivals.
Yeah, we probably should do on this. Let's do that.
Oh, that's true.
We better.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back to the year 1886 at Washington Swamp Poodle Grounds, catcher Connie Mack made his major league debut when the Washington Nationals, in a rare victory, even then, edged the Philadelphia Quakers 4-3. As a manager, the journeyman catcher posted the most big league wins and losses, compiling a 3,741 win to 3,948 loss record with the Pittsburgh Pirates and Philadelphia A's during his 53-year managerial career. Does anybody else have that? 3,741 wins?
Boy, I don't know. That'll be tough to beat.
Sir Drives a Lot says, I'm stealing Keon's insult. By all means,
I
pack of ass.
I didn't create it. Steal away.
Oh, who created that?
I don't know. I had a friend that said that once back in college, and I was like, yeah, that's in the memory bank forever.
Six. I just don't understand.
Exactly. I don't know. If you call someone that, there's a look of confusion on their face that also follows. It's great.
Here's a look of confusion. Booger Wolf. Jeffrey, learned the only dance he knows from his powerlifting aunt. She used to river dance with 50-pound dumbbells in each hand.
I like that Booger Wolf disappeared for a long time. Like we would forget he got run off at the Jim Rome show.
Oh, that's right.
And I bring it up every time he comes back.
Do we have that audio?
I can find it. It sits on the computer here.
He did go quiet for quite some time after the Jim Rome experience, didn't he?
Hey, let's see if I can.
Let's see if you can make this work.
Yeah, that was a classic moment.
They call me the Booger Wolf. We're just the Wolfly guys out here. But my beef, man.
Dude, I don't care why they call you Booger Wolf.
Oh, that thing just lives on the computer. Anytime he comes back, just got to mention it.
Yeah, you got to put it on the other computer. You just go click, bam. You don't have to wait. Get that in there.
Oh, man.
Poor Booger Wolf. Mr. Roboto says six pack of ass is Peter from Family Guy shopping for a hammock of canned beans at Costmark.
If you say so. I haven't watched Family Guy in so long.
Hammock of beans?
That's a very specific. I wonder what the context of that joke is now.
A hammock of beans.
Yeah, I don't know if he just mistyped it. I'll be there.
I think it's adorable when people think because your team is bad, you can't laugh at all the other bad teams. I know personally what you're going through, which makes it funnier.
Can you just say it's like I'm all for helping somebody coin a phrase. I think we could all get on board and use the phrase six pack of ass in our regular life and get this thing going. But I'm a little hurt that people didn't make more of an effort to help me start sweet monkey meat. I really wanted to see that become a thing.
Wait a minute. I have gone through shopping centers. I've gone through Fry's. I've gone through the Bevmos. I have shouted out sweet monkey meat. Infinite amounts of times in the public arena, and so you can't say that nobody.
You're my pal. You got my back. I know that, but it didn't really take off. I really thought sweet monkey
meat
would just be a universal thing said by people all over the place because I just love that sweet monkey meat.
Yeah,
nobody.
I think what it is when you say it, people ask you what you mean by that, and that kind of ruins the exclamation because you're just surprised.
You just give them a look and say, and then you don't
like you don't know,
fool.
You've never heard that before.
I imagine
live under a rock.
I imagine monkey meat would be sweet. You know,
sweet monkey meat,
but it's not literal. I don't know. Just kind of bummed that one didn't take off.
Yeah.
I think I've got some other phrases we've tried to start that
I
never got off the ground.
I use the Goog a lot.
The Goog. Okay.
That was another one from you.
All right. Yeah. I feel like that one probably got more steam, but if you say that to somebody, they know what you mean, but they don't realize it's just not spreading. If you hear other people say the Goog,
I don't know actually.
You're like, I wouldn't notice it, right?
See, I've used the Goog quite a bit.
Fish Tank says the movie Rookie of the Year had funky butt loving And I'd like to see that one live on.
Hunky butt, love it.
Booger Wolf just texted in. You know what he says? Nice guys. Real nice.
Oh, because Booger Wolf is so kind when he texts in.
Well, that'll teach you. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona.